I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. One big domino has fallen in the NFL's receiver market. ESPN's Adam Schefter's reporting the Vikings and Justin Jefferson agreed on a 4-year, $140 million extension, $110 million guarantee. Makes him the highest paid receiver and highest paid non-quarterback in league history. With Jefferson's contract done, the pressure now on the Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb, says unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
They're going to have to pay an all-pro wide receiver top of the market money. Now, he's not going to get $35 million, but he should slide in right under what Justin Jefferson got. At the end of this offseason, CeeDee Lamb should be the second highest paid player in the NFL, and if he's not, it creates an interesting quagmire for the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys Pro Football Hall of Fame offensive lineman Larry Allen died suddenly while on vacation with his family in Mexico yesterday. He was 52 years old. Basketball Hall of Famer Alonzo Mourning told ESPN he underwent surgery to remove his prostate after being diagnosed with stage 3 prostate cancer. Testing revealed the cancer did not spread. Mourning is now considered cancer-free.
As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live, U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt. Hey, you know what, kid? I ain't even mad at you. Tigers are playing in a regional final today. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tumbling. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. What else would we be doing today? Hit it, Muse. Let us start as we begin every single day. Yeah.
It's time to pop the top.
The thing we do every day.
On another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Now you can go into the thing.
Cook at third, D'Onofrio at second, French the pinch runner at first. The 2-0 pitch. Oh, no. High in the air to left field. Pearson, though, going back, short of the track. He's under it, and he has it. And the Tigers of LSU and North Carolina, just their third loss here at Boshemer Stadium, and the Tigers force a championship regional game tomorrow on Monday.
That's how it sounded on the LSU Sports Radio Network. The "oh no" exasperated from Doug Thompson was apropos because, brother, I'm going to tell you what, man, that ball off the bat looked like it was going to tie the ball game, but it died short of the track and left, and that ended a pretty dramatic day for the LSU Tigers, which, of course, needed to win 2 games. They beat Wofford 13-6 and then come back to beat North Carolina 8-4 to set up tonight's Game 7 winner-take-all regional final. The winner advances to the Super Regional next week against West Virginia. So we have basically an all-baseball show today. So if you're coming today expecting a lot of talk about Justin Jefferson's contract. I'm pumped for Jets. We'll probably get to that tomorrow in detail. There's a lot of other good football stuff we're going to get to, but probably more so tomorrow. This is going to be a day that's pretty heavy on whether or not LSU's season is going to continue and how it all shapes up. So Doug Thompson, bottom of this hour. Tommy Ashley covers North Carolina. He'll be here next hour. And then as we begin hour 3, the game will be starting. So we'll have somewhat of a companion show in hour 3. This LSU baseball team for much of this season didn't know how to finish. One thing, though, you can never say about them was that they quit. And it was a narrative about this team throughout the year. They'd fight, they'd come back, they'd scrap, but they just couldn't finish games late. It wasn't that they quit when they were 3-12. They didn't roll over. They could have. When they were down 5-0 to Wofford in the first inning, they could have rolled over. You know who rolled over? Arizona rolled over. When they lost a dramatic first game in their regional to Grand Canyon, came back the next day, they quit. They flat out quit. So I commend LSU for that. The difference in the team now and the team 6 weeks ago is this team knows how to finish. And it was evident on Sunday. You go out there, and I'll recap before we look ahead. Just a quick thought on Saturday, the loss to North Carolina. Look, Luke Holman was awesome. He gave you 6 2/3. He struck out 11. He made 2 bad pitches. And quite honestly, he had some misfortune. They only broke through against him on a bunt single and then a double by Parks Harbor, which went off of Jared Jones's glove. I mean, it was right there. Like, my good. It wasn't Harbor. It was right off of Jones's glove. If he catches the ball, he steps on first. It's a double play. There's 2 out, nobody on for Honeycutt when the lineup flips over. Instead, it goes off of Jones's glove. It's a double, and now you've got 2 on for Harbor, or for Honeycutt, and you groove him a fastball, and he hit it 420 feet, whatever. That sucks. That's a little bit of bad baseball fortune for a guy who otherwise pitched magnificently. So you fall into it. Look, and you had 3 double plays. I could sit here and talk about the slide, the interference call against Milazzo. We've talked about it enough. It was a heinous call. All umps are bad at their job. It was an ump show moment where they were in their feelings because Jay got a little chippy with him when he came out, and they confirmed a call, which was one of the most bogus calls you'd ever see. But that doesn't excuse Tommy White rolling over a grounder on the first pitch he saw on a breaking ball from the reliever, or Hayden Travinski doing the same in the 7th. You had 3 opportunities with runners in scoring position. The inning ended on double plays. You had your chances. They beat you. They flat beat you. So you go into Sunday needing to win 2, and the only way you make it through a loser's bracket is if you get something extraordinary. Talked about it all last week. I'll say it again today. The best example is what we saw a year ago in Omaha. You had 2 situations after you lost that first game to Wake Forest. Nate Ackenhausen, who hadn't gone more than 3 2/3 last year, gave you 6 shutout innings against Tennessee. And then in that first game against Wake Forest, the elimination game, you had Griffin Herring relieve Javen Coleman, who didn't make it out of the second inning. And Herring gave you 4 1/3 innings of shutout baseball and gave you an opportunity to get your offense back in it and win it. You had extraordinary, uncommon outings from those 2 guys that gave you the opportunity to get to the Skeens-Louder game. Well, look at what happened yesterday. Against Wofford, you give the ball to Nate Ackenhausen. He can't get out of the first. You go to Griffin Herring. It sucked that you had to go to Herring that early. You would have loved to have been able to save Herring for the night game or for today, but you couldn't take a chance. You don't worry about the night game or today if you don't get there. So Griffin Herring was magnificent. 6 1/3, 1 run on 5 hits, struck out 7, didn't walk anybody. The offense got going, as we saw. LSU puts up 21 hits. They were taking BP by the end of that game against Wofford, and they move on to Sunday night. Enter Thatcher Hurd. Thatcher Hurd is going to go down as one of the more perplexing players we've ever seen at LSU. A guy who came in with much fanfare from UCLA, was largely ineffective for the bulk of last season, and by the time he got to the postseason, Thatcher Hurd was absolutely unconscious and ended up pitching the national championship game and gave you 6 innings of 2-run baseball. Went into this year thinking Thatcher Hurd was going to be your Friday night guy, and Thatcher Hurd disappeared again. And now all of a sudden in his last 3 outings, he's looked like the guy that has first-round projections. And my goodness, was he awesome. He sat down the first 11 that he faced. He wobbled in the 4th. And generally, that's when we've seen Thatcher Hurd crumble. After he gave up back-to-back-to-back hits and they got on the board for the first time, he comes back, gets a strikeout, and then goes back out for the fifth and has a 6-pitch fifth inning. And then even in the sixth, he got the first 2 outs on 4 pitches. It looked like he was going to cruise straight into the 7th. And then ultimately, the command became a little bit of an issue, gave up the hits again, walked a guy, and then he was out and Lohr was in. So, but Thatcher Hurd gave you 5 2/3 of 2-run baseball. He staked you to an 8-1 lead at one point in the game. He was awesome. He was absolutely awesome. The only bummer about that game against North Carolina is that even with an 8-1 lead, you couldn't keep the foot on the pedal offensively and maintain that lead, so you had to go to your best guys. And in every inning from the 6th on, North Carolina had runners in scoring position. They ended up leaving 10 men on base in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. They had opportunities to break through, and if it was Ulloa or Anderson or Guidry, they all made the pitch when you absolutely had to have the pitch. Oh, it was uncomfortable. It was for a team that led 8-1, it was very uncomfortable. But they got it done, pushed it across the finish line to force today. So, yes, you won, and you had to win by all means necessary. And when Jay Johnson is considering who to throw in those moments, bringing back Cade Anderson for the second time in the same day, you're not thinking about Monday. You're thinking, I have to get to Monday, and we'll deal with Monday when it gets there. So that's the disappointing part, is that what you have available now is sort of bare bones. We have arms. We're going to talk about that coming up in the next segment. A couple of other things, because most of this obviously is focused on the pitching, but offensively, really good call by Jay Johnson in game 1 to pinch hit Neal for Travinski. He noticed the splits. The lefties were doing much better against Wofford. They put Neal in there, and Neal went 2 for 3 with a walk in the game against Wofford. In the game against North Carolina, you knew Neal was going to be back in there. He was swinging a hot bat. He had to. It was only a question of would he catch or would he DH. I loved sticking with Hayden Travinski. He's number 8. He's your captain. And the thing about Travinski, too, is he wasn't taking bad at bats. On Saturday, Travinski hit the ball hard. He just had bad baseball luck. Same with Tommy White yesterday. Tommy White murdered 2 baseballs right at Gallagher at third. I shouldn't say right at, but Gallagher at third made 2 incredible plays to rob Tommy White of base hits. Tommy White should have had a 3-hit game against North Carolina, but they made exceptional defensive plays. You tip your cap. Hayden Travinski hit some balls hard, and then on Sunday night against North Carolina, he was rewarded. He had the single, he had the homer, and came through in a big way. And you hope for the guy that's a team captain, wears number 8, has been such a steady part of your program for 5 years. He has those types of moments in the postseason, and he did on Sunday night, which was great to see. And of course, how can you not love playoff Pearson? I mean, Josh Pearson is a guy that he's a 250 hitter. He's hitting 246 right now in the season. That's what he is in his career. He is a 250 hitter. That's what he is. But in the postseason, when you have to have it, he always seems to come up in a moment and deliver. And he had a homer in each game, including the 2-run homer in the first inning to stake LSU to the early lead against North Carolina, one they would never relinquish. So what an amazing day of baseball for LSU to set the stage for today, what we hope will be an amazing night for the Tigers if they can pump one more win, man, in this incredible run and get to a super regional at the box next weekend. So we're going to step aside for our first break. When we come back, I want to talk about tonight and what LSU has available on the mound and what North Carolina has available on the mound. Our show open every day, of course, is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. Hey, big thanks to everybody who came out on Saturday to the UFC VIP watch party. Y'all, the Sportsbook at L'Auberge was absolutely packed. And I know Dustin Poirier had a lot to do with that, but I know our audience was a gigantic part of that crowd. I mean, it was shoulder to shoulder in there. So thanks to everybody who came out. Wish the fight had gone better for Poirier. Hell, if he is retiring, hell of a way for him to go out against Makhachev. He was submitted in round 5, but what a fight it was. In any event, as always, Bud Light, the official beer of the UFC. Dustin Poirier, a national spokesperson for Bud Light, and of course, Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. We love telling you about our friends over at Mockler Beverage every single day. Great Louisiana-based company. So drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the Tigers and the official beer of the UFC. Okay, quick break. We'll come back. We will talk about North Carolina and LSU's pitching scenarios tonight. I'll tell you kind of how I think this is going to shake out on the mound, and who gets the ball first I think might surprise you. So we'll talk about that next on AFR.
AFR.
Well, I've been telling you for a year now that Darren James was number 54 in the country on the Wall Street Journal's Real Trends list of the top 1% of realtors in America. Well, I regret to inform you I cannot say that this year. Darren James is not the number 54 realtor in the country. The Real Trends list came out, and Darren James is number 14 in the country. Number 1 in the state of Louisiana. Big shout out to my guy, Darren James. Of course, Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. Darren James, you can't argue with numbers. And only 13 realtors in America sold more homes in the last year than Darren James. No realtor in Louisiana sold more homes than Darren James. So if you need to sell your home, why would you call anyone other than the realtor that sells more homes than anyone? You need Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, Windows, Doors, Siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
I think it was just the execution of the pitchers. I mean, this guy has major league stuff. He's going to pitch in the major leagues for a long time. And so I think the credit really goes to Thatcher. Like, those guys are great players. And then Gavin, obviously, there at the end, you know, making pitches to not allow him to get enough of it because he has great power. And, you know, we executed really well tonight. And I just think it's more about our pitchers executing.
Jay Johnson on his bullpen, which was massive. It's understating it. It's you got exactly what you needed to be able to come out of a loser's bracket and force this one game winner take all. And it's the great thing about baseball. It's just it's a given day where whoever's got the little white ball in their hand could conceivably have an advantage. It's who's going to make the big swing. It's who's going to make the key defensive play. And North Carolina, this started as a virtual pick'em today, and a lot of the money has come in on North Carolina. This morning when I checked, North Carolina was a -120 favorite, but LSU as the underdog was -115. So, I mean, it was essentially a pick'em. As it stands right now, North Carolina is -166. LSU is +130 at DraftKings. So all of the betting public has sided with North Carolina today, and with good reason. North Carolina is better set up on the mound, having had to only play one game yesterday as opposed to two. I mean, it stands to reason it goes that way, and we'll go through it. But boy, the way it could set up for LSU, and especially with the way they've been swinging the bats, it's hard not to like LSU's chances to go win this ball game. And the other thing that I would say is very significant in this ball game tonight is the pressure has shifted. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for North Carolina. Like, I don't know enough about their team, their makeup, all of that stuff. But for a team that's been very good this year and has not faced this situation yet, it gets something new. North Carolina is going to taste a different type of pressure today that LSU has been quite comfortable in for the last 6 weeks. I mean, after LSU started 3-12 in the league, they didn't have any margin for error. And certainly after they lost the Bama series, they had to sweep Ole Miss. We talked about that. No 12-18 team had ever gotten in the field. So they had to sweep Ole Miss. And then you felt like you had to go beat Georgia in the SEC tournament. And they just kept stockpiling wins. And yesterday you had to win twice. And you did, even though you were down 5-0. I mean, you understand, like, North Carolina hasn't faced that yet. So the pressure was on LSU yesterday because they didn't have a game to play with. Now it flips. LSU is very comfortable in this moment. They've been facing the our season's on the line moment. For North Carolina, this is the first time. So how do they deal with that? They may do great. But that is an unknown variable in this ballgame. Now, the other thing we got to talk about, of course, the most pressing thing we have to talk about is the pitching staff. Here was Jay Johnson after the game against North Carolina Sunday about how the pitching sets up on Monday.
Where's sort of the state of your pitching now heading into this game? I assume Cade's not available because he pitched twice a day, and no Cage or Griffin or Luke. But other than that, is everyone else available? Chip in a chair. Deal the cards.
He just will not give you anything. So here's what we know is available for LSU. Let's go through what we know is available and what we think could be available. Okay. First of all, Nate Ackenhausen started yesterday through 27 pitches. He's absolutely available. He's a veteran guy who's probably pitching for the last time at LSU, and through 27 pitches against Wofford, he can absolutely come back, and if you need him to extend, he can. He doesn't throw exceptionally hard, and it's very reminiscent of Riley Cooper a year ago. Cooper was certainly more effective throughout his time at LSU than Ackenhausen, but it's that sort of effect. Just give him the ball, let him go throw. Ackenhausen's available. Ulloa threw 22 pitches yesterday. He could absolutely come back. The scary thing about Ulloa is only 9 of his 22 were strikes. Now, maybe part of that was intentional, keeping it low in the zone, trying to avoid North Carolina elevating the baseball to knock it out and end up with a tie ball game. But still, Justin Lohr only threw 5 pitches yesterday. He's thrown 6 pitches so far in this regional. He could definitely extend for you. We saw him do that in the SEC tournament. Gavin Guidry threw 40 pitches yesterday. If you have to give him the ball, you can, but it would be certainly an abbreviated outing, maybe a batter or like situational or an inning. It's hard to imagine after 40 pitches yesterday, taxing pitches, you would expect Guidry to come back and give you any kind of length. Javen Coleman has not thrown a pitch in this regional. He's absolutely available. Aiden Moffitt threw just 6 pitches on Saturday. Will Helmers has 2 appearances. He did throw 15 pitches yesterday, so 23 pitches in total in this regional. Helmers, who also is at the end of his college career, could give you whatever he has left. Cade Anderson, I think, is the real interesting one because this is a freshman lefty who threw 13 pitches against Wofford and was awesome, struck out the side, and then came back and threw 32 pitches at night. against North Carolina. Now, I did not think that they would have gone to Cade Anderson against North Carolina. It is sort of understood as a arm care no-no to get hot, cool down, and then get hot again. I remember the best example, I remember this, which we've talked about over the years, is Kevin Gosman back in 2012, the Stony Brook Super Regional. Gosman finished game 1 on the restart and then started game 2, and they were 45 minutes apart. But when he finished game 1, they treated it like a long mid-inning where he would sit for about 10 minutes, get up, and then light toss just to stay loose. And then he just went and started the game after a 45-minute, period between games. It is just frowned upon to let someone get cold and then get them hot again. So I was very surprised they brought Anderson back, but he was effective. I don't know, after throwing 45 pitches yesterday in 2 different instances, what Anderson's availability would be today. Maybe a situational at-bat against a lefty. I can't see him throwing more than an inning, but we'll see. The wild card today, I would say, is Gage Jump, who threw 105 pitches on Friday. He's had 2 days rest. This would be a bullpen day. So in theory, Jump could, instead of taking a bullpen on the side, go throw a bullpen in a game. The scenario in my mind for Gage Jump would be, it's a 4-3 ball game. You're 3 outs away. Let Gage Jump pitch the 9th. I think that's a scenario that could potentially unfold if it warranted. I think Sam Dutton is going to start the game tonight. I don't know that he's going to extend much more than an inning. It may be just, hey, be our opener. Go get me 3 outs. Go open this ball game, pitch the first inning. Just face the first 3 hitters. But remember, among the first 3 hitters, you're going to face Honeycutt and Harbor. So you're going to face 2 big bats from the right side. So instead of starting with Ackenhausen, start with Dutton from the right side. That makes sense just to make sure you get off to a good start. And Dutton's a strike thrower as well. It's, on the season, what does Dutton have? 4 walks on the season, something like that? It's an absurdly low number of walks for Sam Dutton on this season. So if you want a strike thrower, someone who's not going to go dig a hole, Dutton's probably that guy. I know a lot of you have asked about Javen Coleman starting tonight. It's hard for me to imagine that just because ask yourself this question. Your season is on the line. I just rattle off all the pitchers that are available for you tonight. Who do you want to start the game for you? Javen Coleman didn't pitch in an SEC regular season game since April the 6th against Vanderbilt. After that Vanderbilt game on April the 6th, he only had 2 more outings the rest of the year against UNO and Grambling. That was it. So he's not one of the guys they've counted on. He did throw in the SEC tournament, and I'm sure at some point tonight they're going to give him the ball because you're going to need him to take the ball. But that's not the guy I want to say, hey, I need you to go get me off to a good start. And for Coleman, really the big bugaboo is the thing which it's so odd for Coleman because when his career started, the hallmark, the thing I loved about Javen Coleman before his Tommy John was his command. He had great command from the left side. And right now, in 24 2/3 innings pitched, he's got 19 walks. 27 strikeouts, but 19 walks. You can't put Coleman on the mound against righties who hit lefties well and trust him not to walk people. So no, I don't think Javen Coleman is the guy I want to start this game. I think Sam Dutton is going to get the ball first. Maybe it's for an inning, and then you give the ball to Ackenhouse and see if he can give you some length, and you play it from there, situational, to see how it goes. But that's how I think they're going to play it tonight. For North Carolina, their Friday guy, DeCaro, the freshman, only threw 68 pitches on Friday. So he could absolutely come back to he could even start today if they wanted him to. Their best reliever is Matty Mateus, who threw 38 pitches against Long Island on Friday. He did not pitch Saturday or Sunday. His long outing of the season is 4 innings. He's absolutely available to extend. Their closer, Dalton Pence, threw 32 pitches against Long Island and then 27 against LSU on Saturday. He did not throw yesterday, so having Sunday off, their closer, Dalton Pence, could absolutely come back. Ben Peterson, who threw 35 pitches on Saturday, did not pitch yesterday, absolutely could come back. Padgett, who threw 2 1/3 yesterday, but 30 pitches, could absolutely come back. North Carolina is objectively in a much better position on the mound than LSU. The key for LSU is their pitchers staying within themselves and the offense having a really good day. Now, one other thing I'll talk about, we got Doug Thompson coming up here in a sec. My guess is Brady Neal is gonna catch for LSU tonight. I was told earlier today that Alex Milazzo might be dealing with a slight injury. I do not know the severity of the injury, but if there's any situation like that, Milazzo's a gamer, he's a grinder, he's going to try to play, and maybe it's a situation where it's a late inning defensive replacement. And I'll tell you why I asked the question today. All season long, and by the way, Neal hitting the ball well in game 1 deserved the start in game 2, and plus you didn't want Milazzo to catch 18 innings, I get it. But late in that game was a perfect opportunity up 4 for Alex Milazzo to go in as a defensive replacement. I mean, you saw the ball where Brady Neal tried to catch a ball that hit him in the chest plate was one of those where if you stab the ball at strike 3, you're out of the inning. The fact that Milazzo didn't go in as a defensive replacement made me ask the question today, why wasn't Milazzo in the game late, and found out that he's dealing with a little something. So I don't know I'm being very candid. I do not know the severity. I am not going to guess about the severity. I do not know his availability tonight, but my guess is if he's limited like he was last night, you start Brady Neal, and maybe it's a scenario where if he can give you something, he's a late inning defensive replacement. We'll see how that goes. But for a guy that's playing his final season for LSU, which could be his final game for LSU, my guess is he'd say, cut off my leg before I don't play. Now, it'd be really hard to be a catcher if you didn't have a leg. But just for what it's worth, something to keep an eye on. So I do think Brady Neal will start again behind the plate for LSU tonight. The way he's swinging the bat, that could be a very good thing to have another left-handed bat in the lineup. Okay, we are going to grab a break. We come back. We're going to head up to Chapel Hill. We'll talk to Doug Thompson. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Y'all, June is here. Summer months are here, which means people are traveling. If you're getting the family grocery getter and taking it on the road, make sure you have the best tires on the road, and you can get them at Shaw Bills. Go to ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. You hit the promotions tab at ShawBillsTire.com, and you'll see all the great specials like BF Goodrich, a Bridgestone, Firestone. All of the best tires on the road have great manufacturers' offers coupled with in-house offers from Shaw Bills right now. And always be sure to ask about the Shaw Bills credit card because you'll always save when you use your Shaw Bills credit card. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. Okay, Michael Cauble will give us a scene setter in about 30 minutes. Tommy Ashley covers North Carolina. He's here in 45 minutes. We should have starting lineups next hour as well. When we come back, let's go to the Bosch. We'll talk to Doug Thompson from the LSU Sports Radio Network next on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. Of course, the LSU Tigers facing a regional championship game today. So many members of this baseball team, members of the G team. Hayden Travinski, a big home run last night. Gavin Guidry recorded the final out of the game last night. Both members of the G team. Alex Milazzo, who we just talked about. Josh Pearson, huge playoff Pearson, huge yesterday with 2 homers. All members of the G team. Gordon McKernan doing amazing work supporting student athletes, not only male but female, not only for the Tigers but for all different schools across the state of Louisiana. Look, if you've been injured in an accident, trust the best. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Over the last 30 years, Gordon and his team have recovered more than $2 billion in damages. More than $2 billion in damages for their more than 10,000 clients. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know what to do. Go to getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Baby, like smooth. What? Can you teach me how to Dougie? You know why? Cause all the girls love me. Hey. All I need is a beat that's super bumpin'. And for you to back it up and dump it. Get it.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
There's no verbal message that needs to be said. I think everybody knows how important every game, every inning, every pitch is at this time of the year. And I think everybody on the staff was just as capable and just as ready for that situation. We all knew what we were getting into today.
Griffin Herring took the ball from Nate Ackenhausen and absolutely delivered for the Tigers. 6 1/3. He was just awesome. Helped LSU bridge the gap to Sunday night where the Tigers got it done 8-4. Doug Thompson, LSU Sports Radio Network, former Tiger great. Good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Duggar, how are you?
Doing good. Weather's great here. Unlike Baton Rouge, I'm here, Matt. It's been a little wet down there, but it's probably about 82 right now. And just another beautiful day here, a little overcast, but all in all, not a scorcher at all.
Wouldn't be regional baseball time if it wasn't raining in Baton Rouge. It's just par for the course. But, hopefully we got a great day. It sounds like we had a great day up in Chapel Hill. Hey, LSU's down 5-0 to Wofford, and in the first. Realistically, thoughts, feelings at that time?
Oh, it was ugly. I mean, the only thing we had going for us was time. Like there was some at-bats and some time left, and of course you felt like eventually LSU was going to score some runs against Wofford. You felt like LSU was going to hit at least a homer. And, of course, hopefully those things happen in a timely fashion, and they did. But, I mean, obviously the story of that game is Griffin Herring extending himself. I mean, one of the guttiest performances you could ever hope to see from a kid. Honestly, I mean, ESPN followed him in after his not the last inning, but the one before. And you can see him debating with everything he had to stay in the game with Jay because he understood, he knew how important it was for him to eat as many of those pitches up that he could. So, and then Thatcher Hurd. I mean, you talk about defy the odds. I mean, Thatcher Hurd put himself back in the first round if he wasn't already there last night. So that slider, 88-91, was a major league level slider. His fastball had some serious bump on it from 95 to 97, 98 miles an hour. He was in command. He looked like Game 3 Thatcher Hurd, maybe even per the metrics from what I'm understanding, and maybe even a little bit sharper than Game 3 Thatcher Hurd. And just what an incredible day yesterday was. Proud to be a Tiger just by the way they fought yesterday to get to this point. But look, nobody's satisfied. Nobody's just excited to be here. Of course, lot on the line today, much more on the line today than anyone could have anticipated with a potential super regional, in Baton Rouge.
Duggar, correct me if I'm wrong, but the 97 team that you were on, you all had to come out of the loop. It was a 6-team regional, but that was the South Alabama regional, correct?
Yes, we lost game 3, the driver's seat game, to South Alabama. Had to come out of loser's bracket and had to actually beat South Alabama 2 times on a Monday because we got rained out Sunday and had to actually play them both on Monday, and it was a scorcher. And, yeah, we came back in a miracle home run by Eddie Furness in the top of the 9th to tie the game and push it into extra innings against Long Beach State with 2 outs, by the way. Like we were down to 1 swing. And then we ended up winning that game in extra innings. And again, the next day we had to hurry. I think that game ended at 2 a.m., something crazy like that. Mike Bianco coached us from the 9th until about the 14th inning because Coach Burtman, I think that was the 2nd or 3rd game of his career that he had been tossed from. But yeah, no, I've seen LSU teams fight through this stuff at this time of year, Matt. I mean, there's magic surrounding this program. There's a lot of energy right now. There's a lot of momentum. And the question will be, can this kind of Johnny Holstaff pitching staff get it done today? Look, it's all a matter of each kid having a good outing when they go out there because, if they do that, that's almost tougher than facing a starting pitcher because every inning is something different. It's from the left. It's from the right. So it may actually benefit LSU today to be able to do that with the kids that they have available.
Doug, Doug Thompson's our guest. So I was asking about that South Alabama regional and coming out of and I remember the Long Beach game. I listened to it on the radio laying in my bed at school the next day. But I asked because just from the pitcher's perspective, when we ran through it a bit ago, Duggar. Ackenhausen threw 27, Uyo threw 22, Guidry threw 40, Anderson 45 yesterday in 2 different outings. Like how do you determine what availability? Jay's obviously not disclosing anything. How do you determine what availability these guys have? Or give it to me from a pitcher's perspective. Everybody wants the ball, I'm sure, but how do you manage this?
Honestly, I just think the 3 H's are off the table today. That's Herring, Hurd, and Holman. I don't think you'll see any of those 3 today. I don't think they can possibly go. But truthfully, Matt, this is it. This is the final day, so I wouldn't even be surprised to see Gage Jumper out there for the last inning if necessary. This is an all hands on deck scenario. You can imagine all those kids you just mentioned are ready to go today. At least they've told Coach that they're ready to go and be a part of this. But there is no tomorrow, so this is one of those special circumstance days that you've seen across the landscape. Today I saw a kid pitch for, I think it was East Carolina or against East Carolina that threw 79 pitches yesterday, and he came in to get the last 3 outs. So I don't know. What's been released yet, but I do know that it's going to be piecemeal together based on who's coming up, the situation, all those good things. But Matt, I also know it'd make it a whole heck of a lot easier if these bats could stay hot and we could jump out to a 5 or 6 run lead early.
That would make. Hey, Doug, how about we see back-to-back homers like in the last game at the old box in the first inning? Just race ahead and never look back. That would make the entire day a whole lot easier.
Oh man, how much fun would that be?
Hey, so you mentioned Jump. So what I laid out a bit ago was he threw 105 pitches on Friday. If it's a 4-3 game in the 9th, absolutely bring Gage Jump in to get the final 3 outs. Can you walk me through from a pitcher's perspective? All right, if this was going to be his bullpen day, what's the difference between throwing a bullpen off the side and throwing it in a game?
Well, I guess that varies by pitcher, but like when I threw bullpens, I went after it. Like I didn't really. I know a lot of guys go 80% and have a different type of routine than they would, for a start or whatever. But once I got loose and was trying to create some hitting situations or face some imaginary hitters, I was trying to be full speed. So I guess you're looking at a 40 to 50 pitch workout once you get cranked up and going full speed. So I don't think that they would run Gage Jump out there for 50 pitches. But again, to see him for 20, 25 pitches to close out the game in the right circumstance, this is all me talking to you.
Sure.
I have no clue, but I wouldn't say that that's even off the table.
Doug Thompson, and of course LSU Sports Radio Network. Duggar and Chris will be on the air in about 45 minutes on Eagle 98.1, our sister station, of course, affiliates of the LSU Sports Radio Network. First pitch about an hour and 17 minutes from right now. With respect to the lineup, I don't know if Jay's posted it yet, but are we anticipating the same lineup? Tommy White leading off, Milam in the 2-hole, Neal catching. Are we Brown in center? Are we expecting the same lineup?
Let me see if I have the text yet. I don't have the text, so it hasn't been posted. Everybody's playing things real close to the hip here. 90 minutes before the game is when everyone has to announce their starting pitcher. I don't think. Are we there yet? We're
Yeah,
getting
we are,
pretty
yeah.
close. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess they've been announced at this point. Sandy Dutton is actually just going to throw an inning for LSU, and I'm not sure, but when I talked to Jamie Tutko before the game, we looked at their scouting report pictures. Like, he basically pointed to the top 6 or 7 guys, saying that they think they're all available today based on the pitch counts they've had so far. So that includes the freshman Friday night starter that only threw 65 pitches on Friday night.
Yeah, that's Jason DeCaro. So,
That's right. That's right.
yeah, Doug, I'd heard the same, so I kind of let that out at the beginning of the show that I thought Dutton might get the ball first, and it makes sense, right? You get the righty there against Honeycutt and against Parks Harbor as well. So see if he can get you 3 outs and you're off to a good start, and then see who's next up.
It's the most important inning, and it makes sense because Sandy's going to throw strikes, and the last thing you want to do is have a big inning because you put some guys on by free pass. So it's a safe bet to get through the first. And again, I mean, it's all speculation after that, literally. And that's coming from the guys and the staff. Like, it really just depends on who's up, what the score is, the whole 9 yards. But they have a crew. They have some guys that are ready, and these kids know what's at stake. They all know that they have a chance to turn the lights back on at the box, and of course, they want that to happen more than anyone.
Doug Thompson, LSU Sports Radio Network. Have a great call, Duggar. Bring one home, man. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
All right, we'll see you. That's Doug Thompson. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. You go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. So I've told you for a couple years now about Mold Zero and Pure Restoration. I promise they're not just changing the name all the time to confuse people. My partners with Parish Construction and Roofing, Richard Tilley, Ryan Terrio, actually have acquired half of the company with Jim Woodworth. So they're partners now, and they brought everything under the Parish umbrella. So I've told you about the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. It's pretty incredible. You can still go to the same website, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. And when you go to the website, parishbuilt.com, you'll see the restoration tab right there. So go to the website, hit the restoration tab, and you'll see all the same information we've talked about forever. It doesn't matter if it's a single-family residential building, if it's a large commercial building. And really, what's been pretty remarkable, too, is the New Orleans area. Thank you to everybody in the 504. Parish Restoration has done a tremendous amount of work in New Orleans. I get it, man. We live in the mold capital of the world. If you've got where it's wet and humid, mold grows. So if you have mold, think you might, commercial, residential, our friends at Parish Restoration can help. Again, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Hit the restoration tab. You can learn about the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Full demo and bill back is available. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, and hit the restoration tab. Okay, thanks to Doug Thompson for being with us. Michael Cauble give us a scene setter from the Bosch in about 15 minutes from right now. Full disclosure, I feel stupid calling it the Bosch. I've literally never referred to that stadium ever as the Bosch, but everyone's calling it the Bosch, Boschmer Stadium. So maybe I'll just say Chapel Hill. How about that?
Well, I was about to say, in all honesty, what did you ever refer to that stadium as before this week?
LSU's never played there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm sure there have been times we've talked about regional baseball happening at Chapel Hill, but I don't think we've ever called the Bosch. Anyway, we'll break. We'll do Around the SEC to wrap up hour number 1, Cauble in 15 minutes, and we're back to Chapel Hill in 30 minutes from right now. Tommy Ashley covers the Tar Heels. We'll get a check-in on how they're doing. Stay with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
I love getting to welcome new partners onto AFR. And I get to do that today with Duplessis Builders. It's Duplessis Builders, Pools, and Outdoor Living. You know, I'm going to get the opportunity here over the next days and weeks and months to tell you about Derek Duplessis. And this is a vastly different way that he approaches pool building. Because Derek Duplessis is an LSU grad with a degree in mechanical engineering and a minor in aerospace engineering. He's an engineering background who was working in one of the giant plants. His sister wanted a pool. He said, I think I can do that for you. Ended up building 8 pools that year, 60 pools the next year, and now he's got the fastest growing pool building company in our area. If you want to learn more about the process, see pictures of their work, I'm going to get to tell you much, much more in the coming days and weeks. We go to duplessisbuilders.net. Again, online at duplessisbuilders.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
A big shout out to Alan Faneca, the former LSU Tiger Pro Football Hall of Famer, announced today he is on the ballot for the College Football Hall of Fame, a deserving honor that no doubt one day he will add to his long list of accolades. But Faneca played at LSU from 95 to 97, of course left before his senior year. Was a first-team All-American, won the Jacobs Trophy, which was the best offensive lineman in the SEC. He was a finalist for the Outland Trophy. If I'm not mistaken, that was the year Orlando Pace won it. So he had some pretty good competition that year. But Faneca is on the Hall of Fame ballot. We'll learn if he is, in fact, elected this year. But it's really cool to see guys from this era start to be voted on, elected, and it'll be early 2025 when the announcement is made about the electees. So when we know, we'll tell you. But congrats to Alan Faneca, first time on the College Football Hall of Fame ballot. Okay, it is after further review. Do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the South Carolina Gamecocks.
South Carolina has fired baseball coach Mark Kingston after 7 seasons leading the program. The Gamecocks lost in the Raleigh Regional on Sunday. They failed to reach the championship game of the Regional. So 37-25, they were 13-17 in the conference, and they were swept in their final 2 series of the regular season. Kingston and Gamecocks have now missed the NCAA tournament twice in 7 seasons under Mark Kingston.
The Florida Gators.
2026 4-star quarterback Will Griffin has committed to the Florida Gators. He's the number 104 overall prospect, the 8th best quarterback, the number 20 player in the state of Florida for 2026, meaning he's a rising junior. 6'2.5", 225-pounder, headed to Gainesville.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
4-star safety Keon Young has committed to Ole Miss, 6 foot, 171-pounder. He's ranked number 244 overall in the country for the 2025 class, the number 23 safety and the 36th best player in the state of Florida.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And Georgia baseball has gotten a commitment from Knox Bennett. Name sounds familiar? Well, it shouldn't, because why would Knox Bennett sound familiar to anybody other than the last name? That's Stetson's brother. The number, well, it doesn't actually say any of that stuff. Just that he hit 350 with 3 homers last year. He's 6'3", 225. I guess he got all of the size in that family.
Most likely, yes.
So Stetson's the mailman. Is Knox the UPS man?
I just really want to know if he's like 27, because, I mean, Stetson's 32, so, I mean...
He's not 32.
Yeah, he's up there, man. He's pretty old.
25.
I don't know. That doesn't sound right.
There you have it. That is Around the SEC. Brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, if you're thinking of buying that diamond, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, Corporate Boulevard in Bocage, Mall of Louisiana, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, always online at LMFJ.com, where they have perfected the Lee Michaels experience. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. Muse, run through if you would, the SEC teams, how they fared in regional play this weekend.
Yeah, so Vandy and Alabama went 2 in a barbecue. Tennessee dispatched of Southern Miss. They will move to Supers and host Evansville. Kentucky dispatched of Indiana State. They will look like they're going to host Oregon State in a Super. A&M's off to Supers. Florida forced deciding Game 7. They are leading Oklahoma State right now in that one. Arkansas was eliminated by Southeast Missouri in their own regional. Georgia is off to Supers after beating Georgia Tech. They will face NC State. Mississippi State was eliminated in Charlottesville, and that's everybody. LSU of course
plays in an hour and 5 minutes.
AFR.
As we put a button here on hour number 1, remind you about Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com to get that reservation. Y'all, I am so fired up. I am so fired up about tomorrow. Tomorrow, the new menu items drop at Supper Club. Tomorrow, I'm going to be able to tell you what new, exquisite, delectable delights they've added to the menu at Supper Club. When we talk about the food at Supper Club, everybody knows Supper Club is the place where you go to celebrate, the place where you go to have the time of your life. What we don't talk enough about is the best food experience you'll have. Like, you can get prime meat anywhere. What you can't get everywhere, steaks from Sagrera Farms in Ethel. It's the only place in Louisiana you're getting those steaks. They buy the whole animal, and they butcher it in-house at Supper Club. Who does that? Nobody does that except Supper Club. Book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. New menu items dropping tomorrow when they reopen. Can't wait to tell you about it at Supper Club.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano facing a potential lifetime ban for betting on baseball. MLB received information he bet on games involving the Pirates when he was with the team last season. The latest massive payday for an NFL receiver going to Minnesota's Justin Jefferson. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, he and the Vikings agreed on a 4-year, $140 million extension. Jefferson's the highest paid receiver and highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano.
I think that Jefferson belongs at the top of this market right now. A monster year this year from Jamar Chase, maybe he goes past him. But right now, I think you have to say Justin Jefferson, given the age, given the production, given that it was time for him to get an extension, deserves to be the highest paid wide receiver in the league. And CeeDee Lamb, coming off the year he had, I think has a strong case to be the second highest paid.
Dan Graziano on Greeny. Lamb negotiating with Dallas about an extension of his own. Cowboys Pro Football Hall of Fame offensive lineman Larry Allen died suddenly while on vacation with his family in Mexico yesterday. He was 52 years old.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Canty coming up Tuesday. Justin Jefferson just got paid. I'll tell you what that means for CeeDee Lamb and other receivers who are looking for new contracts. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona. And here we go. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios. That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Template. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. We are 1 hour away from first pitch, LSU in North Carolina. Tommy Ashley covers the Tar Heels. He'll be here in 15 minutes to give us everything you need to know about UNC heading into tonight's ball game. Right now, though, Michael Cauble, our friend from WBRZ Television up in Chapel Hill, good enough to join us. Cobbs, how are you?
Doing well, Matthew. How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Excited about this game. I would imagine the enthusiasm around the park would be pretty palpable right now. What's it like?
Oh, yeah, it's popping. The music is blaring, so even if it wasn't, you wouldn't know because the music is absolutely crazy loud right now for the number of people inside the ballpark. But a good line of fans waiting to get into this one. Obviously, a lot of them in Carolina blue. I don't know how many LSU fans were able to extend their stay. I can tell that some have certainly not been able to do such. But should be a great atmosphere for it. It's Game 7 here tonight.
It's one of the interesting things, like, you don't plan to be there on Monday. You know what I mean? Like, you could maybe plan a weekend trip, but you're not sure that the series would ever extend to a Monday. But During the broadcast on Saturday, Cobbs, they did mention that it looked like it was 50-50 LSU, North Carolina. Were there that many LSU fans there?
I thought it was closer to 60-40. I thought, in fact, I was leaning a little left there as well. But no, there's a lot of purple and gold in the stands. The first day, it didn't feel like there was as many Tiger fans, but then as the weekend approached, yeah, they definitely showed up, and it was a good showing for that Saturday game. And, a lot of Carolina blue yesterday, but this place only holds 4,000, 4,000 and change, so it's a little different than what we're used to back at the box.
Is there atmosphere there among the 4,000?
It's good when it's good. I was telling somebody else that they're not great baseball fans. So I think they're just Carolina fans. Like, I feel like, they cheer when they know they're supposed to cheer, but they're not really cheering, in those lulls where they're trying to pick anybody up or, appreciate a really good play here or there. So it's a great ballpark. It's a beautiful ballpark, especially for what it is. I mean, like, it's superb. Like, I don't want to crap on it at all. The grass is gorgeous. Every seat is a chair back. They've got some suites, not a ton, but no, it's a fantastic, ballpark. But it's not the SEC. If you could take this ballpark, put it in the box, and supersize it, every Tiger fan would be really happy with that.
Let's do it. I'm for it.
Yeah.
He's on Twitter at Cauble, WBRZ Television. Cobble's up there at the Chapel Hill Regional Games, about less than an hour away from first pitch. So we know Sammy Dutton's going to get the ball first for LSU tonight. Jay Johnson is super coy, obviously. Have you been able to decipher anything as far as what their plan might be other than Dutton getting the ball first?
Is it official? Because there's some gamesmanship going on here at the field. Carolina typically releases their starter an hour and a half ahead. When they didn't, LSU was sitting on theirs as well. So is it official?
Well,
I don't want
to. I was told that earlier today. Doug Thompson was with us last hour and said they had to release it 90 minutes before, so he did mention it.
Okay.
So unless if Jay's going to pull a fast one and make a last second change.
No, I just don't want. Jay tells me some things in confidence. I don't want to go against him, but
of course.
Yeah, I mean, if it's out there, then it's Dutton. Yeah, they're going to go with Dutton. I heard you earlier in the broadcast. It's for the reasons that you said. It makes a lot of sense. It's not going to be an all-game thing, or it doesn't seem like they're going to try to get an extended amount of time out of them, which is interesting to me. Like, I understand it. But I also feel like in the all arms on deck kind of situation, you want to, get as many pitches out of somebody that you trust as you can. And so, I think they'll ride them, but yeah, I'm not sure how long they're going to ride them.
I don't know. I don't see the lineup posted right now, but do we know what Jay might be planning on doing? Like, my assumption is Brady Neal's going to start again behind the plate. And
well, I'll tell you,
yeah.
I'm sitting here watching Alex and Brady both catch.
Okay.
So Malazzo's in full gear, and he's going through his full pregame routine. So if he's not in the lineup, it's it'll be surprising, I guess. Like, just knowing him and the way that he grits and fights through things.
Yeah.
I think he's going to make every effort to do it. Now, I am down by the bullpen. I guess I could walk down there. I still don't think Jay's posted the lineup because typically I can see it from where I'm at. So I don't know that specifically what they're going to do, but Malazzo's ready to rock and roll. He's in full gear, and he's throwing the mask on right now and catching again. So,
that's great news. I mean, if this were his last game at LSU, I can't imagine him not trying to give it a go in some capacity. Do you know if I mentioned earlier, Cobbs, that I had heard that he had tweaked something yesterday. I do not know the severity, but that was one of the reasons we didn't see him late in the game last night as far as a defensive replacement. Do you know anything there?
I asked him, and he said he was good. So.
Okay.
We'll see, right? Like, again, he's a hockey player back there, so like he's going to go if he can, and I think you're absolutely right on that. And nobody's 100% healthy this time of year, and catchers are probably very low on that percentage as far as health goes. So, I don't know, Matt. Like, I mean, I would be speculating to say, but I wouldn't be surprised to go either way, quite honestly.
Okay. Anything else we need to know here 53 minutes before first pitch?
So it's very similar. The weather-wise, it's very similar to the Wofford game. It's breezy. It's cloudy. It's actually hot today as far as Carolina goes. The sun is beaming. That's not going to be an issue when the game starts. But there is a pretty significant wind. It's blowing to left right now. That'll favor both teams, obviously. But it's something that we didn't have on those Saturday, Sunday games. It was dead stick early on, so this is definitely different.
Michael Cauble, WBRZ on Twitter at Cauble. Give him a follow. What's coming up tonight, Cobbs?
Yeah, just going to recap, right? I mean, we're either playing in Baton Rouge or we're talking about, the 25 Tigers. So, it's all on the line tonight. I can't wait to see how they respond. As we've talked about forever, Matt, this team knows how to fight, right? And they've shown that. So I'm not expecting anything less here, but Carolina's a good club. They're hosting for a reason. So it's everything you want, right, in college baseball. Unfortunately, it's not at home with that environment, but I don't know that necessarily affects this team.
This is Michael Cauble. We appreciate it, man. Enjoy the night.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
All right, man. Be well. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com. ParrishBuilt.com. We learned last week that we are anticipating a busier than normal hurricane season. And if the weather this weekend was any indicator of what is still to come, that prediction might be spot on. And this is actually the best time to check on your roof, like right now. This is the time to prepare before the storm comes. And something I mention to you all the time when it comes to roofs is check your insurance policy. Check your wind hail deductible versus your named storm deductible. Because a lot of times people say, well, I might need a roof or a replacement or whatever. I'll just wait, and if a hurricane comes, I'll file a claim. In a lot of instances, your wind hail deductible could be less than your named storm. So you could end up paying more for a hurricane than now. So this past weekend, where we had hail all over the place and high wind, make sure you get somebody up on your roof to do a free, no obligation inspection. We'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com. ParrishBuilt.com. And it doesn't matter where you're listening to me. In the state of Louisiana, we have bodies, boots on the ground, ready to come to you. ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. That's us. Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com. Okay. We are an hour and 10 minutes away from first pitch. We're expecting starting lineups to be posted here in about 20 minutes. When they are posted, we'll run through it. Good report there from Cauble. Again, if you missed it in the open, heard earlier today that Dutton was going to be the guy probably just for the first inning, or maybe even just the first three hitters of the game. I think when you look at Honeycutt and Harbor from the right side, two of your first three batters, you certainly don't want to get in trouble by putting guys on base. You put a strike thrower out there in Sam Dutton, see if he can get you 3 outs, and then hand it off to the next guy. It seems like that's going to be the strategy. And then after that, we'll see. Let's see how the game is going. Is it situational? How do you have to go? So it's really going to be one of those games where for both Jay Johnson and Scott Forbes, they are going to have to manage this game. It's not, hey, Gage, go give me 7 shutout. You know what I mean? Just here's the ball, see how deep you can get in the game. This is going to be one of those situations where feeling like every pitch is managed as both teams try to save their season, something LSU is quite accustomed to at this point. What about the Tar Heels? Tommy Ashley from 247 Sports covers the Tar Heels. He'll join us next to give us a little bit of a thumbnail on North Carolina heading into this ballgame. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics. Of course, our friends over at Action Industries wishing Jay Johnson and the Tigers the best of luck tonight. Go get them, courtesy of your friends over at Action Industries. On top of doing the work that they do in the petrochemical and refinery markets, Action Industries also offers fabrication shop services. So if you're in a plant and you need fabrication shop services, they do it all. They do pipe, structural steel, pressure vessels. Super impressive, too. When I went to Belrose, their facility, and watched them doing this, it's unbelievable to watch the size and the scope of that. Now, if you work in a plant, you understand that. But for a schmuck like me, it's pretty incredible to see. When they do their pipe fabrication, they fabricate in separate shops, alloy and carbon steel. The two sections are segregated. You know why that's important. They are an ASME-certified vessel manufacturer. They have all 3 stamps, R, S, and U. They got them all. They're the best. It's Action Industries. Check them out online or on LinkedIn. Action Industries. That's Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Coach, did you consider saving Cam for tomorrow, or what?
We had a plan. We stuck to it.
Scott, where does that leave you for tomorrow?
With all of our horses ready to go.
Both coaches being pretty coy when it comes to their pitching plans for tonight, and you can understand it. You got a couple of coaches, a couple of teams that are fighting for their season tonight. LSU and North Carolina. We're 44 minutes away from first pitch. Tommy Ashley from Inside Carolina covers the Heels. Good enough to join us now. Tommy, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
Hey, man, it's great to talk baseball, and especially with you guys. Hey,
man, it's a fun time of year, and when the teams you cover are playing, it's pretty awesome. I'll ask you the question that Coach Forbes was a little coy on. What do you anticipate is available to Coach Forbes tonight on the mound?
Well, I agree. He's got all his guys. I believe Jason DeCaro is going to be the starter, and it's going to be a staff day, but he's got Poston, Pence, Mateus, and all ready to roll if they need him.
Any idea? So you said DeCaro likely to start. He's the Friday night guy and only threw 65 thereabout pitches on Friday against Long Island. How much length might they look to get out of him?
You know, I think they're pretty protective a couple innings. But, you know, if he does like Holman or Hurd did, he can throw 50 and get through 4 or 5. So it's going to be that type of situation, I think.
It was a bit of an outlier for Hurd last night. There's no doubt about it. But it was something LSU absolutely needed to get through that game and through that day where they had to play 2 games. I'll come back to the pitching in a second. But, you know, one of the things I'm curious about, Tommy, is like LSU has continued to face elimination. I mean, basically the last 6 weeks of the season they've been facing elimination. I'd imagine this is a new feeling for this team. Best guess being around them all year, how they handle a day like today.
Well, what they've done, what Carolina's been able to do is they played a ton of the tough series on the road, and they'd lose the first 2 games, and then they'd have to have Sunday. Y'all know how that works.
Yeah.
And they were able to get it. I think they only lost 2 Sunday games all year until yesterday. So I think this team's ready. I do worry a little bit about the tightness. You're at home, but you're the away team, from what I understand today. And sort of yesterday was a free play game, right? You had one in the bag. They had to beat you twice, and now here we are with a winner take all. And I think that's going to be the test for this team. There are a lot of young guys, a lot of new guys, not a ton of postseason experience on the team. And this is going to be the environment that you got to step up.
It is interesting. The pressure yesterday was all on LSU. I mean, they had to win to save their season. Carolina had a game to play with. Now, seemingly that does flip. I think that intangible will be interesting to see how it might play out. If DeCaro is the starter, and I mean, we could look at Matty Mateus, who hasn't pitched in a couple days, and everybody, Pence. And I had the whole list right here of all the guys that would be available today. I mean, it feels like, and you tell me if I'm reading this wrong, but yeah, I mean, Mateus, Pence, I would guess. Let's see, Ben Peterson. I wrote down Padgett. I would imagine Padgett could go again today as well. He only threw 30 pitches yesterday. Would it stand together that everybody would be available except for maybe, I guess just the guys that started the last 2 games?
Yeah, I think, and it's maybe the case with LSU as well, possibly. Well, not really because they threw more, but I think Aiden Houck is not available. He threw yesterday. And then Sprague. Could they bring Sprague back? I don't know. I don't see Forbes doing that. So I think you've got everybody. And you should be able to get through, 9 innings of baseball, minus the starter from yesterday, which was Aiden Houck. And I think that's part of the reason, that they pulled DeCaro a little bit early on the first game on Friday. He was struggling a little bit, but 65, you can come back on Monday if you need it. And then if you don't need it, then, you won anyway. So you're in that type of situation here. But we've heard it many a times. Elimination game, all hands on deck, right?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how that might manifest, and I guess we'll get those answers here shortly. Tommy Ashley's with us inside Carolina. Has anything about this regional surprised you so far with respect to the way Carolina's played?
They haven't hit it as well as I thought they would. Obviously, they scored a lot of runs against Long Island, but they had to do it at the end. They didn't hit yesterday. They've left a ton on base. But what surprises me about yesterday is as bad as they hit, the top of the order was not good, and they had the ball or they had the tying run at the plate in the 9th inning. So they grind and grind. But the bottom line for this team is if the offense is going to be what it's supposed to be, the top 4 have to get going. And that starts with Vance Honeycutt. He was great the first day against LSU. He was not great yesterday. And it's sort of, if you're going to bat him leadoff, which they've done most of the time, and he's not on, then it sort of stymies what you're trying to do day to day. So the defense for Carolina has been stellar, though.
Yeah.
That's been surprising. The third baseman, Gavin Gallagher, who's a freshman, fantastic yesterday, and I think that's huge.
Tommy White would have had a 3-hit day, but for Gavin Gallagher. He's not getting.
And we were sitting. It's funny. Yeah, I don't like sitting in the press box. I go sit with the masses, and we were sitting down on the third base line, and those were absolute rockets at Gallagher, and he made the plays. And I know Tommy White hitting them on the screws, but he's like, "What is this guy? Who is this guy?" And but the key to that is White's hitting the ball solid. So just don't hit it at Gallagher.
That was a problem also for, I think, Travinsky on Saturday as well. But he's been the defense for Carolina, with the exception of the misplay by Honeycutt in center, that allowed Travinsky to get to second. I mean, other than that, the defense for Carolina has been pretty magnificent. What would you say tonight for Carolina would be the key to winning this game? Like, what has to happen for Carolina to win?
No free passes. I think Carolina walked 5 yesterday. And without looking at the box, I would wager that at least 4 of those scored, and you got a 4-run game. Carolina's issue all year, when they've gotten in trouble, is getting the 2 outs, walking a guy, walking a leadoff guy, and Carolina's done that a lot. I always say it when I'm talking about this team, and it's something we talk about in football as well. in basketball too, finish defensive innings. And Carolina struggled with that when they've been in trouble. They did it yesterday. They couldn't get it done, but they did it on Friday, so they need to get back to that. So for me, the key is the defensive side. I think the bats will come around. If you score 6 or 8 runs in the college baseball game, you should expect to win. And so if we're looking at this game later tonight or tomorrow morning and Carolina has a lot more strikeouts than walks, then I think Carolina's probably got a good chance to be advancing. If the inverse happens, then you guys will be hosting, I guess, West Virginia down in Baton Rouge next weekend.
Yeah. What do you, last thing, you said you like to sit among the masses for the games. What are you expecting, just being there in Chapel Hill today, crowd, atmosphere? What are you expecting for this game? I mean, it's a weird start time, right? Well, I guess it's 6 Eastern, but it's 5 here. A lot of people are still at work. What are you expecting around the park?
It's been a good LSU crowd. I'm not good at estimating numbers, but there's been a lot of purple, especially down that third baseline. My concern is for today is that you're right. It's 6 p.m. here, but folks work till 5:30, or 6 o'clock. The LSU fans that are here, and there are a lot of them, they're not going to work today. They're here in Chapel Hill hanging out. So they're going to all be in the stadium. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. I think there'll be more Carolina fans, but I think there'll be more LSU fans perhaps than there were the first 2 games. It's going to be a raucous environment. It's a fun time, and it's a beautiful park. It's a beautiful place to watch a college baseball game, and I love the environment, which is why I sit down with the masses. I call them the unwashed masses, and I sit down there with them. Press box is too sanitized for me, so I sit out there with them.
Well, the unwashed masses in purple and gold will be spending the day doing 12-ounce curls, if you know what I mean. They're going to be ready to roll come 6 o'clock Eastern, man.
Absolutely. It should be a wild time.
Tommy Ashley, Inside Carolina. Y'all give him a follow at TAshleyIC as an Inside Carolina, part of the 247 Network. Tommy, we appreciate it, man. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yeah, man. Always fun. Y'all stay safe.
It's our pleasure. Thank you. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Optimize, GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. Y'all, I mean, you saw the weather yesterday. So many people lost power with the high wind, the heavy rain. Not only rain today, Saturday was just a deluge all around the greater Baton Rouge area and really parts all across South Louisiana. If that cell hit you and knocked power out like it did for so many people, I was talking to Dr. Tyler Boudreaux over today at Lake Men's Health. I was there for a checkup earlier today. He lost power. Got to get a generator. Call Optimize, GeneratorPeople.com. A Generac automatic home standby generator. As soon as your power goes out, the generator kicks on, powers your entire home. So it's like nothing ever happened. GeneratorPeople.com. It's Eric and I, after Ida, when we lost power for a week, we were like, never again. And for us, it was challenging because Drew has a lot of medicines that have to stay cold. So anytime power went out, we had to pack up and leave, go to a relative's house or something. So never again. We installed a Generac automatic home standby generator. You can do it. At Optimize, if you have $600 for a down payment, you can afford it because they have financing options to fit any budget. And by right now, it comes with a free 10-year warranty over at Optimize. So go to GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. They service the entire 1012 corridor. So from Lake Charles to Slidell, anywhere in between, they have an office near you with 4 physical locations all across the 1012 corridor. GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. All right. It is After Further Review. Waiting on the lineups to be posted. They're posted? Okay, great. All right, lineups are posted. We'll knock out a break. We'll come back after the break, and we'll run through the starting lineup. It looks like they're sticking with essentially the lineup they went with yesterday. And it is Dutton, as we mentioned, who's going to get the ball. So we'll run through the starting lineup and a few thoughts here before LSU and North Carolina start 33 minutes from right now in the regional championship game, the regional final. Of course, if the Tigers win, we know it's on the line. West Virginia won the Tucson Regional, and if LSU wins, they'd be hosting West Virginia at the box next weekend. So see if the Tigers can go out and win a baseball game. And if they do, we'll have a really, really rowdy weekend in Baton Rouge next weekend. We'd look forward to it. Okay, a quick break, come back, run through the starting lineups for LSU and for Carolina. Don't you move, it's AFR.
AFR.
I love sharing all the testimonials for our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air because it's just so atypical to see this many 5-star reviews when you're talking about really any contractor, but especially an HVAC company. This 5-star Google review said, our technician, Bobby, was amazing. All caps with 4 exclamation points. He was able to quickly diagnose and fix our issue, but even went beyond that. Chris didn't leave my home until everything was checked and in great standing with our unit. He was extremely knowledgeable and friendly, exceptional service, hashtag Team Bobby. They got a hashtag for the HVAC guy coming to the house. Now, Bobby's been to my house too, and he's awesome. So I can validate that. But the point is, at River City's 1 Hour Air, they go to great lengths to make sure their technicians are expertly trained and also have great interactions with their customers. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, Windows, Doors, Siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Yeah, I think they believe in themselves at a high level, playing as well as we have for the past month and a half. They should believe in themselves. But as I said last night, after a tough loss, today was going to be our best day. And those aren't words. It's like we're going to put everything, to the middle and go for it. And these guys did that. And, when you're in this tournament, you have to have great individual performances by guys that have talent. And that's what we got today in both games because we beat two really good programs today.
Jay Johnson on Sunday night after LSU upended Carolina 8-4 to extend the season at least another day, what we hope will be at least another week. Of course, if LSU beats Carolina tonight, Tigers will host West Virginia in the Super Regional round next weekend out at the box. We'll find out based on getting ahead of ourselves here. We'll find out. They base it on TV, whether it would be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday Super Regional. You would stand to reason that if you play Monday, they would give you the extra day. But if I'm not mistaken, in 21, when LSU beat Oregon, they played on the Monday, I'm almost positive that LSU came back and played in Knoxville Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can check me on that if you want to, Muse. But there was a time where LSU traveled and there was a quick turnaround where they had to travel, and you thought that the regional would be extended, but or the super regional would be it was that one?
It was that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, Friday. They played on Friday.
Yeah, so they
didn't make it to Sunday.
They didn't make it to Sunday, correct. But it was scheduled for.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Yeah. That's right, because they played in Eugene, won on Monday, and then got home, had the quick turnaround, and had to go up to Knoxville. I mean, it's baseball at this point. You go, but LSU wasn't done any favors that year. We'll see, what they do if, in fact, LSU wins today, but you got to win today first. Okay. Let's run through the starting lineup. And again, if you're just joining us, talked about it at the beginning of the show. Was told earlier today that Sam Dutton was going to get the ball, and we kind of shared that with you at the start of the show today. I don't think that's any great breaking news. It's official now. They have to share it with the opponent 90 minutes before first pitch. So at 3:30 Central, an hour ago, North Carolina already knew that. But so Dutton's going to get the ball for LSU tonight, and to start. And as I understand it, this is just going to be an opener. He may only face 3 hitters. And when you look at the top of the lineup with Honeycutt and Harbor batting first and third for North Carolina, that's 2 right-handed batters, and the fact that Dutton is a strike thrower, the worst possible scenario for LSU in this game would be to go and just make a mess. And LSU's the home team, so you go make a mess in the top of the first. And you walk a bunch of guys and you let them get a lead before you even get in the dugout. That's the problem that Javen Coleman has. And Javen Coleman's walked 19 batters in 27 innings this year. In 24, he's got 27 strikeouts, but in 24 innings pitched, he's got 19 walks. You can't justify putting Coleman on the mound to start the game, potentially walking guys and giving up a crooked number in the first inning before you even bat, digging yourself a hole. So you want a strike thrower out there. That's Dutton. He's going to face 2 big bats in the lineup that are both right-handed, better matchup. The curious thing for me is going to be, and Muse and I were talking about in the break, what if Dutton goes out and strikes out the side in the first? Are you not going to put him back out there in the second? I mean, you pointed out in Dutton's freshman year. So was it his freshman year?
It was his freshman year. Yeah, because they used him as the opener. He made 11 starts or whatever. That year.
It was 22.
Jay's first year.
Jay's first year.
I'm trying to find the exact game actually right now because they pulled him after 1 batter.
He literally pitched to 1 hitter.
That was it.
That's where was that the plan or was it
So if memory serves me correct, he got him out.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm finding it. So,
okay. No, I think it was a double.
Maybe.
I think it was a double. He pitched to 1 batter, gave him a double, and he yanked him. See if you can find it. Are you looking at his
I'm going back to
All right, find that. Let me run through the lineup. So Dutton's going to get the ball tonight. But my question would be, if he does have success at the top of the order, do you extend him or do you stick to your guns where he's just going to be an opener and pitch to 3 hitters? Let's run through the lineup. It's the same lineup as yesterday. Tommy White's going to stay in the leadoff spot, and why change? With this lineup, you scored 13 runs on 21 hits, and then you scored 8 runs on 11 hits. So Tommy White leads off. Stephen Milam will bat second. Bear Jones will be third. Josh Pearson will play left and bat cleanup. Michael Braswell will play short and bat in the 5th spot. Brady Neal will catch today, and he'll be in the 6 hole. Again, if you missed it, my understanding is, and Jay has talked about this, we'll see if he does post-game, that Alex Milazzo tweaked something in his leg, maybe hamstring. Do not at all know the severity of it, but it would have been a stretch to see if he could catch 18 innings yesterday, and clearly there's something. So, Brady Neal swinging a hot bat, another left-handed bat in the lineup, you let Neal go catch and hit, and maybe there's a scenario where Milazzo could get in as a late-inning defensive replacement, which would be awesome to see if that could happen. It would be awesome to see if you needed that to happen, right, as a late-inning defensive replacement, meaning you're up. But we'll see. So Neal will catch and bat 6th, and the bottom third of the order, Travinsky, Brown, Larson. Of course, Brown in center, Larson in right, and then Dutton pitching. So White, Milam, Jones, Pearson, Braswell, Neal, Travinsky, Brown, Larson. 3 true freshmen in the lineup, 2 true freshmen, 8 and 9 there, a true freshman in the 2 hole. bodes well for LSU's future, no doubt about it. But we hope they play well in the present as LSU's trying to extend their season. You have it?
Yeah, it was against Ole Miss, and he did give up a hit. He faced one batter, gave up a hit, they pulled him, but also he faced 4 in a start against Alabama, and they yanked him after that.
And it was just 4 hitters, and that's
it.
So I'll be fascinated. I know, and it's different. The scenario that you're talking about, I mean, it's a good memory to bring that up. It's different whenever you're playing through a weekend and maybe you're trying to see guys, you're trying to get guys work, you have a plan and you can adjust, as opposed to this where, like, this is your season. And it almost feels like if you can get, I don't want to say length out of some, because I don't think anybody tonight, I would be surprised if tomorrow we're sitting here talking about this game and anybody's gone more than 3 innings. I just don't think that's in the cards for who you have available tonight. I mean, do you disagree?
No, I think the only person that I'd point to that you have available that could do that would be
Ackenhouse.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean,
maybe Lure, but I don't even think Lure can get you through 3.
Is his long of the season 2?
I think it was in the SEC tournament
when he went 2 1/3 or whatever it was. He pitched really well, but I don't know that anybody gets you more than 3. That's the point. Ackenhouse would be the one that could. He threw 27 pitches yesterday. So I mean, I would think of it this way. Like, if you're trying to map it out in your head, if you're Jay Johnson, if you throw Dutton in the first and he gives you a clean first inning, you put Ackenhausen out there. Maybe Ackenhausen can give you 3 innings, or get you through the lineup once. If you do that, then you're through 4. You see where you are in the game. And from there, you've got Lohr, Ulloa, Coleman, Moffitt, Helmers, Guidry, and Anderson if you need something, then potentially jump if you're in a 9th inning situation where it's a 5-4 ball game. You got to go close it out. Hey, Gage, go give me 20 pitches and close this game in the ninth. Give me the final 3 outs. I think that could happen. But, best case scenario, Dutton and Ackenhausen maybe get you through the lineup, a time and a half, and then you see where you are at that point.
Yeah, Justin Lohr's longest out on the year is 2 2/3 innings against Mississippi State in that 3rd game of that series.
Something that Tommy Ashley said earlier this hour, if you weren't here, covers Carolina for Inside Carolina. So Carolina's 8-2 in their game 3s. Now, this isn't a traditional weekend game 3, but LSU, of course, 2-8. So when you talk about the bullpen days where you're piecing it together, this has been LSU's bugaboo all year. In conference play, they were 2-8. Carolina was 8-2. They flipped it. So this has been a day where Carolina has sort of thrived and LSU has not. In fairness, though, LSU did win game 3 against Ole Miss, and they went and won, I guess, what would be a 3rd game in the SEC tournament with this approach. So I got down 8-0 in that game and managed to rally. But, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and I was going to say, they've made a habit of that so far, really the last few weeks, just getting down and coming back. That's actually been a habit of a lot of teams in the NCAA tournament right now. The comebacks have been insane. But to your point on the Dutton thing, if you're looking for some type of length, I mean, man, Jay's such a cerebral guy, such a cerebral coach. I can't imagine if Dutton goes out there and does strike out the side 3 up or down, that he would, bite his nose to spite his face when he's trying to get length out of somebody. I mean, you'd have a quick hook, obviously, but how do you not, when you're so thin, go, okay, maybe I should rethink this at some point? You got a guy who throws 65% strikes in his career on the mound.
And he didn't throw against Carolina on Saturday. He threw against Wofford, right, on Friday. Wait, hang on, I got the
I think he threw against Carolina.
He threw against Carolina,
Pretty
not
sure.
Wofford. That's right, because Jump threw and then Herring finished it. So the one time, the most obvious time this comes to mind where a coach had a thought in mind and tried to extend it was Maneri in 2017 in Game 1 of the finals against Florida, where they started Rock Reynolds, and Paul said it, like he wanted to get 3 innings out of him, and Rock got you 9 outs, and Maneri was like, he's going good, let's see if he can keep going, and then he hit a brick wall and got into a lot of trouble. Sometimes, like, your team, your roster, your intuition about your guys is good, and so, like, I could stick with it. It's like, would you rather take him out a batter too early or a batter too late?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where a game like this is truly a game where a coach has to manage the game. And I don't know if you feel differently, but one of the things I've said often throughout the years talking about baseball is, in the course of a game, a manager or a coach, they don't there's not a ton of decisions that you're going to make. I mean, you can't go swing the bat. You can't toe the rubber and throw the ball over the plate. You can't catch and throw. You can't field the grounder. Like, your guys have to go execute. But there's the decision on Sunday against Wofford to pinch hit Neal for Travinski when the splits from the lefties were so much greater and Travinski had a rough first AB, and you said, you know what, I want another lefty in the lineup, and then Neal goes 2 for 3. That's a decision in the game that Jay made that paid off, right? The decision yesterday to go to Cade Anderson for the second time paid off. Like, there's a couple of decisions over the course of a game that you're going to make where it's, do I let this hitter face this pitcher or whatever? Do I put some action on the bases? On a day like this, it feels like the entire game needs to be managed, which that's how Jay's entire first season here felt. If you remember, like that entire season when Jason Kelly was the pitching coach, it felt like they had to outthink and manage every stinking pitch of that season. And it was incredible that they got to the Hattiesburg Regional and got themselves in a position to win it, and they got beat twice. But I feel like today's one of those games where Jay kind of gets to flex that muscle about how he's going to manage his team through this ball game, and I like him doing that. I really do. Now, can these pitchers execute the pitches? Can you get the offense going? We'll see, but I think LSU is going to put themselves in a position to win this game. We'll see if they can. All right, we're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. If you're thinking of buying land, go where Louisiana has gone to buy land since 1916. For more than 100 years, First South Farm Credit, they do one thing. They help Louisianians buy land. So if you're thinking of buying land, you go to First South Farm Credit. They've made it through 2 world wars, through economic depressions, through, my goodness, natural disasters. And here they are. Look, everybody in agriculture, every farmer in the state knows about First South Farm Credit. Which you may not know, though, is if you're thinking of buying recreational property or 20 acres in St. Francisville to build your family's dream home, First South Farm Credit can help. FirstSouthLand.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. That's FirstSouthLand.com. Okay, y'all. It's after further review. I'm glad to have you hanging out. Let me knock out a break. Muse left Tigers in the pros. And then first pitch, we're about 15 minutes away, LSU in North Carolina. Our third hour here on the show. Candidly, we'll probably do a bit of a companion show where we'll talk about the game as it's going. So if you want to watch along with us, you could do that. And we do have some of the other stuff that we'll sprinkle in as well. Justin Jefferson. Jordan Jefferson did not get broke off today, at least not that I know of. Justin Jefferson, however, did get paid. I'm sure Muse will have that in Tigers in the pros as well. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, if you're heading home right now from work, you're going to be watching the baseball game, I got an idea. Swing into Rouse's. Which Rouse's? Any Rouse's. There's 70 Rouse's locations. You're near one right now. Pull on into Rouse's, grab some steaks, some fish, something to throw on the grill, maybe grab some ice cold beer, a couple of bottles of wine. If you want to have a great night tonight, you can do it. Rouse's has everything you need to make this game watch an awesome game watch. So just walk into Rouse's and go to the left. You'll see the meat market. You'll see the butcher shop. You'll see the seafood market. You'll see the deli. If you want something already cooked to grab and go, they got it. I tell you all the time about their wine and spirits. They have a great program. It's buy 4, save more. So if you buy 4 bottles of wine, you'll get discounts with the more you buy. So that way you can try really interesting, maybe reds and whites that you may otherwise not buy, but you get them at great discount prices. It's at Rouse's. Rouse's is the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints with 70 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach. It's Rouse's. This feels like home.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Man, big shout out to Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. They're just the best. Of course, keep telling you about that 3D imaging that they do. So if you want to see what your windows, what your siding would look like, they have a 3D model that they can build on the computer. So you go in and they'll show you exactly what it would look like on your home to have that specific window, that specific siding or color. Pretty awesome. So set up that consultation. Call 288-8138, 288-8138. Relief Windows, a proud partner of ours here on AFR, and, of course, our Monday show sponsor all throughout the year. Muso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
They are really rich, and few of them are as rich as Justin Jefferson became today. 4 years, $140 million contract extension. How about $110 million of that guaranteed? $35 million per year. That makes Justin Jefferson the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. Also gives LSU the highest paid non-quarterback in the league and the highest paid quarterback in the league in Joe Burrow. He passed up on Nick Bosa's deal, which he was previously the highest paid. So congrats to Jets. Don't spend it all in one place.
Oh, my God, dude. 140 with 110 guaranteed.
How about that?
Oh, my God. By the way, Muse, just for last week, for our conversation, told you so.
Yeah, where do I sign up for something 4 years, $140 million? I'd like to get on the dotted line for that.
You're not tall and fast, or
I'm not. But
you did the story about them trying to maybe potentially draft league neighbors. You're like, are they going to draft? I was like, they're paying Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, well, you just had to kind of wait and see. Who knows? I mean, teams do some stupid stuff, especially the Vikings. Angel Reese.
By the way, real quick. I'm sorry, just real quick. I was having this convo. I'll tell you, I was having this convo with Panamsky several months back. So this is several months ago. I don't think he would mind me saying this, because I was asking him. And for those who don't know, Derek works for a sports agency now, or since he's not working at LSU any longer. And whenever Damian Lewis and Lloyd Cushenberry got their deals, I was like, and Joe Burrow had been paid. I was like, how much money has the 2019 team made? So at that point, it was over $778 million in contracts. So with Jets, with Jets now, and no, I'm sorry, forgive me. So then Patrick Queen got his deal, and it went to $819. So now you add 140, so that's $960. So when Jamar gets paid, the 2019 LSU Tigers will account for over $1 billion in NFL contracts.
That is absurd.
Like, they are the greatest, swaggiest, and richest team ever. That's so good.
Angel Reese got fined $1,000 for failing to make herself available to the media Saturday after they
and
beat
in the WNBA, that's a fortune.
After they lost to the Fever, of course.
I'm so over everything with the WNBA. I never ever want to hear anybody talk about it again.
One G, a cool G. Trey Morgan named the Player of the Month in the Rays system for the month of May. Slashed 408, 494, and 618. 10 doubles, 2 homers, and 18 RBI in 19 games. Keep it up there, Trey Morgan. Alex Bregman, big day yesterday, 2 for 4 with a homer, pulled a hanging breaking ball into the Crawford box, 2 RBI for Bregman as well. Josh Smith, 2 for 4 as well yesterday with a double, and then we will wrap it up with Jake Fraley, went 3 for 3 with a double and an RBI. That is Tigers in the Pros.
By the way, speaking of Calic High, did you happen to see over the weekend the national rankings came out for high school baseball?
I did not see this, but I think I have a pretty good idea where this is going.
Oh. Well, now I need to hurry up and find this freaking graphic because we got like 30 seconds left in this hour. Oh, look at you, yeah! And try upon the field. Big Brewing Cohorts Archie. Ring for the Bears will never yield. This day we're all
Did you find it?
Victory. I'm trying to find it. They were number 1 in the country, Muse. Not just a state champions, Muse. The national champions. The Cali High Bears. Go Bears! Cali High! All right, now we got business to attend to. LSU first pitch in 5 minutes.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. Michelli. Michelli.com. Hey, big shout out, of course, former LSU baseball player Sean McMullen, part of the 2013 College World Series team, part of the Michelli family. Of course, I'll tell you about Joel McMullen, president and CEO. Sean works in the family business now as well, so you never know, man. You might have Sean come calling on you. Go to the website. Great resource. Michelli.com. You'll hit the services tab. It'll show you everything they do. I think everybody knows, like, Michelli is our nation's largest distributor of scales. So, like, giant scales that weigh vehicles and weighing all of your, if you're a farmer, if you're weighing your crop and everything. Like, everybody uses Michelli. But they do so much more. They're an ISO 17025 accredited laboratory. If you know what that is, you know it's important. And they have dozens of services. So check them out at Michelli.com. Michelli.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano facing a potential lifetime ban for betting on baseball. MLB received information he bet on games involving the Pirates when he was with the team last season. One big domino has fallen in the NFL's receiver market. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Vikings and Justin Jefferson agreed on a 4-year, $140 million extension, $110 million guaranteed. Deal makes him the highest paid receiver as well as highest paid non-quarterback in league history. With Jefferson's contract done, the pressure is now on the Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb, says Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
They're going to have to pay an all-pro wide receiver top of the market money. Now, he's not going to get $35 million, but he should slide in right under what Justin Jefferson got. At the end of this offseason, CeeDee Lamb should be the second highest paid player in the NFL, and if he's not, it creates an interesting quagmire for the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys Pro Football Hall of Fame offensive lineman Larry Allen died suddenly while on vacation with his family in Mexico yesterday. Allen was 52 years old.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona. And here we go. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us, and we are just minutes away from first pitch. LSU and North Carolina, the regional championship. I will tell you candidly, the bulk of this hour we're probably going to treat just like a companion show. So we'll talk about the game as it's unfolding. We got some other stuff that we'll talk about. So, of course, the game is on television if you want to watch it. Watch it on TV and maybe turn us up. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being there. We appreciate you. Please smash that like button if you would, as always. Subscribe up to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Same to our friends on WBTR television as well. So maybe you watch the game on your phone and then you watch us or listen to us however you are. So we appreciate you for being there. Maybe you're driving home. Thanks for hanging out with us. So just a quick catch-up for a lot of people who might just be knocking off work here at 5:03 Central Time. Sam Dutton is getting the start for LSU. I kind of got that word earlier today, but the plan for Dutton is like maybe literally just to face 3 hitters. So maybe if he pitches a clean first and then gives you the full first, maybe he's lifted in the middle of the first, depending on how it goes. But we're not expecting any length here from Sam Dutton. Muse, give me a thought. Of course, I would encourage everybody, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe up to I always have to say Muso at the box.
Yeah.
Like I can't say Muso at the box. You're Muso here. In life, you're Muso. Muso at the box, and of course on the YouTube channel as well. Muso, I'm sure, will have a post-game pod. Or are you doing a live reaction?
Yeah, we'll do a live after it wraps up tonight.
So Dutton getting the ball? Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm a big Sam Dutton guy. Anyone who throws 65% strikes over the course of their career, you can pitch for me. And that's what he's done. So I like that. The thing is, the quality of strike has to be really, really good from him because the stuff's not overpowering. So if it's too much in the zone, he'll get hit. But I like Dutton in that opener role. I mean, he's done it plenty. The stage isn't going to be too big for him. I like that. But it's going to come down to LSU swinging the bat. Like LSU, they have to hit the ball today.
One of the things Cauble told us when he was here an hour ago is that the weather looks more today like it did on Friday. And, of course, the hallmark of Friday was that LSU had 4 home runs.
Yeah.
That's how they ultimately won the baseball game. So we'll see if the ball flies. That would be my one concern for Dutton. He is a strike thrower, but if you're a strike thrower and you're not really a strikeout pitcher, then you're inducing contact. And the idea is you need to induce weak contact. I will say it this way, though. This is kind of how I thought about it last night. If I told you, here's who we all assume is available, right? Or let's assume there's no Holman, no Herring, no Hurd. Jump might be available in a limited capacity in the right situation. On 2 days rest, maybe treat it like a bullpen day. Give you 20 pitches or something like that. So I'm going to read off these names. Dutton, Ackenhausen, Ulloa, Lohr, Guidry, Coleman, Moffitt, Helmers, Anderson. If I read all those names, those 9 names, and told you, and I guess Primo would be available today as well. If I read those names and said, if you lose today, your season is over. This is the game to extend your season. You have to give the ball to one of those guys. Who are you picking?
Out of just the ones you named?
Just the ones I named. Dutton, Ackenhausen, Ulloa, Lohr, Guidry, Coleman, Moffitt, Helmers, Anderson.
Guidry.
See, I would pick Ackenhausen.
Okay.
I saw him do it in Omaha last year and extend for 6 innings. He's got a little bit of a rubber arm, and I think he can give you length. He's not going to overpower anybody, right?
So wait, you were talking about like in a starting capacity or just in general, who you want with the last guy on the mound to be?
Starting.
Oh, Ackenhausen. Sorry. I thought you meant the last guy on the mound. My mistake.
Starting.
Yes, Ack.
That's why I look at this and I say I'm a little curious about the decision. Because if this doesn't work, it bites you. But this could be one of those instances where, and Dutton's on the bump right now taking his warm-up tosses. This could be one of those instances where you blend analytics and your feel, right? Because the analytics may show the way Carolina is gonna start it with Honeycutt leading off, Cook, who's a lefty in the 2-hole, and then Parks Harbor, the first baseman. 2 of your first 3 hitters are righties who can both crush the baseball. And if you're looking at your splits and you see that Honeycutt dominates lefties and struggles against righties, well then what I don't need is somebody serving up a fastball to Vance Honeycutt and he hits it over the fence and you're down 1-0 the first bet of the game. So, and he struggled yesterday. Honeycutt did as well. So this is an instance where I could say, all right, maybe that's where Jay is looking at analytics and sort of a feeling to make this decision. So
yeah. I mean, I've already seen Vance Honeycutt crush a fastball right down the middle over the fence. I have no interest in seeing that again. So I thought,
righty.
Yeah, and I thought they pitched him a lot better yesterday too, though. But
you mean you didn't like a belt high fastball to Vance Honeycutt, or a hanging breaking ball?
Anyway, great start for Dutton. 0-1, man. How about it? Just right off the jump there.
And he follows it up with the ball outside. No, I know. We'll stay away from Honeycutt. I mean, if he's going to hit the ball, that's fine. Just don't let him hit the ball over the fence. Is kind of what we're really gunning for here. So they're underway there at Carolina at Boschmer Stadium. It is Sam Dutton. All fastballs so far. It's a 1-2 count against Honeycutt. We'll see if Dutton can get him off to a good start here. The other piece of news for today, Brady Neal's catching, as we've shared. I think Cauble talked about it a bit. Alex Milazzo, so it's a single up the middle for Honeycutt. Again, if you're going to fill it up with a fastball, I'd rather him take one off the bat up the middle for a single than over the fence. So that is the inherent problem. If you're going to be a strike-throwing fastball pitcher without overpowering stuff, you're filling up the zone with fastballs, and good hitters are going to touch you up. So runner on first for Carolina there, with Honeycutt leading off with a single. So Milazzo, Brady Neal's catching. Milazzo is dealing. I do not know the severity of the injury. I'll repeat that again. Was told it was a hamstring that he tweaked, and I'm unsure of his availability. So, all right, bloop single into right field. So single to start the game for Carolina. That's clearly what you want for Carolina.
Yeah.
And this was the fear for LSU, starting a strike throw. I mean, you're just filling up the zone.
Well, and I wonder if you've put a cap on him, like you're going to face 3 hitters, is that kind of like we talk about with guys in the lineup, for fear of just getting pulled? I mean, can he not just go out there and pitch loose because he knows I've got these 3 hitters and that's it?
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
So first and second, nobody out for Parks Harbor now, who obviously can leave the yard, and would love to see him roll over one here, but you got to believe he's going to be trying to elevate the baseball. Strike one there. So God, how about a ground ball double play?
That'd be great. He's a candidate for that too. I mean, yes, he can leave the yard, but
this is where I wish, like in college baseball, we had advanced metrics like you do in the big, so I could see like how many double plays has Parks Harbor hit into this year. The 1-1 count there on Harbor.
It's just been a lot of. I've counted 2 breaking balls.
It is a fair question too about Dutton maybe pitching loose, knowing if he's only getting 3 hitters. We'll see. I mean, if that was the plan. I mean, what we know is that this was just an opener role for Dutton. This wasn't any like, hey, go as deep into the game as you can. He was going to go face the top of the lineup here in the first inning, and if you could get 3 outs, great. But instead, they've gone single here to start the game. But it's a 1-2 count to Parks Harbor, and on cue, Javen Coleman is already warming in the bullpen. So as we expected, like this was not going to be a long outing for Sam Dutton. And are you surprised that Coleman's the first one up and not Ackenhausen?
A little bit. A little bit, yeah. The only thing I can think of is they want Ack at the end of the ball game. If that's the case, they had him getting hot last night in the 9th inning. I think that's maybe the role they see him in there in this game. That's the only reason I can think of that.
They were getting him hot in the 9th because you had to win that game.
For sure.
1-2 count.
That was a strike last night.
I know. The ump last night was calling the outside, and he was calling it consistently as well. I had no problem with it at all. He called it consistently all night.
Come on, Sammy.
But I think last night, Ackenhausen was up because you had to win that game, and he was your best arm that was up there. So Harbor fly ball to center, be there, and it's a single. So I don't know what Jake Brown was doing there.
Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, they didn't score, though. It was hit too hard, so you got the bases loaded.
Well, I think they thought Brown was going to come up and catch
Okay,
it.
but see, here's the thing. You said it potentially could be 3 hitters if you're Jay Johnson. I hate bringing somebody in with the bases loaded and nobody out. That's an impossible situation to ask anyone to go into.
So 3 singles to start the game for Carolina. Again, Dutton, like you said, he fills the zone with strikes, which is kind of what you wanted, but you wanted him to hit the ball at people. Instead, they've singled 3 times. I'm a little surprised Brown laid up on that.
He got wrong-footed on that bad, man.
Wow.
Bad.
That's a play Jake Brown should have made. So Jay Johnson's out of the dugout, and he's gonna go to the bullpen here, and it is Javen Coleman. So as we expected, Dutton faced 3 hitters. He allowed 3 singles, and now Javen Coleman's on into the ball game. We're watching this with the sound off, so I would imagine the crowd is going bonkers right now. But that is the exact not thing you wanted to have happen if you were LSU. All right, let's knock out our first break. We'll take it with him here. Top of the first, nobody out. Carolina's got him loaded. Javen Coleman into the game. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, 2 amazing hotel properties in Baton Rouge. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown right there on Bluebonnet. Man, love telling you about these 2 properties. Great places to stay if you have guests coming into Baton Rouge, maybe for a ball game or for an event, what it might be, a birthday party, a Mardi Gras ball, an anniversary, whatever it is. If you have relatives, friends coming in from out of town, tell them. The Watermark downtown, the Renaissance right there on Bluebonnet. But remember, if you're looking to experience Baton Rouge, the Gregory inside of the Watermark Hotel is amazing dining experience, as is Tallulah inside of the Renaissance right there on Bluebonnet. So whichever experience you're wanting. You want to go experience downtown? There's literally no better place in Baton Rouge than the Watermark Hotel. It is Baton Rouge's original high-rise building in the old Louisiana National Bank building. This is the premier hotel property in Baton Rouge. You got to check it out. Of course, the Renaissance right there in Southtown with Tallulah that we tell you about all the time. It's the Watermark and the Renaissance Hotels, two great properties in Baton Rouge.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
All right, glad to have you back with us here. Carolina leads 1-0 after Sam Dutton could not record an out. 3 consecutive singles. The bases were loaded. They went to Javen Coleman, who promptly on 4 pitches, none that were close, walked in a batter. LSU's down 1-0. Bases are loaded. Jay Johnson back out to the mound as Nate Ackenhausen is frantically trying to get warm. And this is one of the things that when you have a plan, when you have to stray from your plan. And Jay's going back into the dugout, and I just think it's because Ackenhausen isn't warm yet.
I agree.
And this is terrifying because what's the thing we've talked about with Coleman? He struggles to throw strikes. In 24 innings pitched, he's walked 19 batters. He comes out of the bullpen in a bases-loaded situation and throws 4 pitches. None of them were close. If you were going to a lefty, why wasn't it Nate Ackenhausen? The one guy that has done it for you on a big stage, there's your ground ball double play, but a run's going to score. All right,
Sorry,
you get the double
that.
play. You'll take that, man. Absolutely take that.
That's a big pitch.
So Coleman gets the ground ball double play, so it'll be runner at third with 2 outs now and 2 runs in after he walked in a run and then an RBI fielder's choice on the ground ball double play. So All right. Well, see if Coleman can get out of it here. If he does, I don't know if he starts the second inning.
I wouldn't think so.
But
what do we got? What do we got going on here?
We got something going on here because they haven't put the second run up on the board, and the umpires are talking things over here. So we'll see what happened.
Maybe we should check the slide at second base.
Could LSU maybe get bailed out? Well, I mean, it was double play anyway, but
yeah.
So I mean, the slide at second base wouldn't matter, but unless if somehow they could just negate the run.
I really just wanted to take a shot. That's all it was.
Somewhere in there. Okay, they put the second run on the board.
Okay.
I don't know what they're.
What? Yeah. What
I don't
is
know
that
what they are
about,
possibly
man?
meaning on here. It was a.
They're going to the monitor too.
They're reviewing something. I mean, that was a tailor-made ground ball double play. LSU turned two.
See if Twitter.
The run scored, so it should. So 2 outs, runner on third, but they're going to the monitor for something. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of it. Let's see. Do we see anything here? This is also the downside, Muse, if you've been watching it. What?
Oh, I was going to say interference with the runner going to third, maybe, but I mean, it didn't impact the play.
I don't know what. Did the ball hit? No.
It definitely didn't hit him.
Let's see. Did the ball hit the runner going to third? Because then the runner would be out.
Correct.
That would have been a triple play, but it didn't hit. It certainly didn't hit the runner.
But with the camera angles, they're definitely focusing on that runner.
On the ground ball, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know. All right, so we'll see what transpires from this. The umpires are coming out from the review. Out? What?
What is he doing? This guy stinks.
What's out? What are?
He didn't even make a signal.
He just said out. He did. He put his hand up and said out.
Why are these guys not mic'd up?
I thought they are.
No, I mean, I haven't heard them announce anything over the broadcast at all.
So, some regionals, the umps have been mic'd
Yeah,
up.
they should be mic'd up in all of them.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Like,
let's see if Coleman can get out of this. All right, there's a fly ball to right on the first pitch, and that should be it. All right, Larson's under it, and inning over. So
that's a good job.
Yeah, I mean, the 4-pitch walk was an absolute abomination. But for that, it's a 1-0 game, and that could have been way worse. Bases loaded, nobody out. You walk in a run, and they only get 2 runs. I mean, the tables have turned from last night where LSU started 2-0. Now let's see what LSU can do against DeCaro, who's the pitcher for Carolina. The book on him, 5-1 on the season, 3.96 ERA. He's a freshman, big righty. Started the opener against Long Island. He wasn't very effective. He only went 65 pitches in that game. It was interesting when Tommy Ashley was with us last hour from Inside Carolina. He said maybe they pulled him early, even though they were losing, with an eye on this potentially of having to use him again instead of burning him, for the regional by extending him in that first game, which is an interesting approach if that's in fact what they did.
Yeah, and especially because, I mean, they've had a couple injuries on their pitching staff for the year that kind of forced him into that role. So, I mean, I guess they know they're not playing.
We didn't get to see Folger Boaz.
We didn't get to see Folger Boaz, which
now,
is
Folger
so
Boaz had towed the rubber. Man, we would have called Sharif in a millisecond because I would have had to have gotten a ruling on Folger Boaz.
That's a good one, man.
As a matter of fact, I might want to call him right now. Why not? Call Sharif Ishak. Folger Boaz on the bump. So for LSU, again, thanks for being with us here. If you are maybe just knocking off work, jumping in the car, LSU and North Carolina, they're in the middle of the first inning. Here, the Tigers are the home team, and that was a designation by who. Last night was a coin flip, if I'm not mistaken. This was based on who had been the home team fewer times. So North Carolina had been the home team twice. LSU had only been the home team once. So LSU, the home team in this ball game tonight. So LSU will have the opportunity to bat last. But Jason DeCaro, the freshman righty, 6'5", 225, started on Friday against Long Island, threw 65 pitches, now back on 2 days rest. I'll be curious to see if there's any ill effects from the short turnaround. That's always something you wonder about with guys on short rest, especially starters when they're out of their routine. Relievers get into the habit of pitching whenever called upon. Starters, a lot of times, just are beholden to their routine. They need time to get warm, and they need to go through their game day routine. And so the fact that this guy's pitching on 2 days rest, maybe it's just wishful thinking on my behalf.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly possible, and he's a young arm, too. I mean, the guy's a true freshman, so biggest spot of his career so far. I mean, that speaks to what you were talking about earlier with the pressure being flipped. And, oh, by the way, the first hitter you get to face is Tommy White.
Yes, The pressure thing, that pressure gauge, I think, releases a little bit, though.
With the 2 spot?
When you toe the rubber with a 2-0 lead. One swing from Tommy White. No, he just called an outside strike. That kind of ticks me off. All right. Like, where was that in the first inning, champ? You'd have struck out Vance Honeycutt if you'd called that pitch.
Yeah.
I don't love that there. Little consistency behind the dish there, Blue. Let's see what you got, man.
Oh, don't ask for too much.
And Tommy White didn't swing at the first pitch.
He didn't.
That's a big talking point with LSU fans right now is Tommy White swinging at the first pitch. And we talked about Kylie McDaniel's MLB mock draft last week. And one of the things that he wrote about was the chase rate. And how that's the thing that's notable, that's clearly notable is Tommy White's chase rate is too high, which I think LSU fans have seen that. But here's the thing about Tommy White swinging at the first pitch. And I don't know. This is where I would love to see advanced metrics. Like, can we see how many first pitch homers or first pitch doubles Tommy White has in his career? Because, like, for a guy like White, sometimes the best pitch you're going to see in an at-bat is a first pitch fastball because a pitcher's trying to just sneak one by you. Ooh, boom, 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 boom. Tommy White just looked at a 2-2 pitch, and Jason DeCaro thought he had it and probably walked right back on the bump. See, but here's the thing, Muse. He called that pitch, the first pitch of the at-bat, strike, same spot, maybe even better that time, and that was the pitch that he didn't call for Dutton. So, I don't know, man.
That's inconsistent early, and that's not what you want in an elimination game.
3-2 for White, fouls it off. So just to finish the point, sometimes the best pitch that Tommy White might see in an AB is a first pitch fastball, something like that. If a pitcher's trying to sneak one by to get ahead in the count, and Tommy White's or a great hitter's just looking to see a few pitches before he commits. So, like, if you know what you're up there looking for and you get it and you swing, it's hard to be mad at it. I mean, like, there was 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Tommy White timed up perfectly. Just fouled it straight back. Like, he's on him.
Yeah.
He just missed it. Fouled it straight back.
And I agree with you on the first pitch thing because, I mean, look, it's who Tommy is. It's who he's been his entire time at LSU, and who he's been his entire time at LSU has been pretty darn good. So it's hard to ask a guy to not. I think there you go, Tommy, right up the middle. Keep it away from Gallagher. I think
he learned his lesson yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
Tommy White should have had a 3-hit day yesterday.
He should have.
For a brilliant defensive third baseman, man.
I think what you might want to see from him is a better pitch recognition, where you look at that breaking ball that he rolled over Saturday night. It's like, man, you got to know you're not getting a fastball there. You got to be able to see it out of the hand a little bit better and lay off there. But I'm not going to ask the guy to be someone he's not.
And it was the first. You have the bases loaded, a reliever coming into the game who you haven't seen.
Yes.
And a first pitch breaking ball. You can't swing at
that.
No. Anyway. All right, so Tommy White singles up the middle. So good start for LSU here. Milam's up. It's first pitch fastball strike. So maybe LSU can make a little noise here. Tigers, if you're just joining us, trailing 2-0 here, bottom one. Dutton started for LSU. 3 straight singles to start the game. He was lifted for Coleman, who walked in a run, got a ground ball double play, then a fly out. Big question is, do they go back to Coleman in the second? Maybe he settled in a little bit there. And like you mentioned, they do alternate lefty-righty throughout the lineup, so I don't know that there's any thought in saying, well, I want a matchup here.
Yeah, I can't imagine they go back to Coleman. I think you see Ack and you say, go as deep as you can go right now.
Milam swings through an off-speed pitch. That's one thing, though, about Milam. Remember this with Kramer a lot during his time at LSU. Sometimes guys who aren't power hitters, when they start hitting homers, they start elevating the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing we talked about a lot with Kramer, because Kramer could leave the yard, and Milam strikes out swinging.
God, that slider's good.
It's a good slider, but Milam's right shoulder was also in the dugout. Like, when you have a little taste of power, like, watch how wide he opens on this. He flings wide open, man. Like,
All right, here you go. Bear Jones.
When you're trying to elevate Stephen Milam needs to be hitting the ball on the ground and on a line. He does not need to be elevating the baseball. He needs to be getting on base and being a pest on base and getting on base for Bear Jones. So,
and if he does that, the home runs will come, as you've seen.
Yes. But when you taste that success with the power stroke, then all of a sudden you think you're a power hitter. And I remember talking about it a bunch with Kramer, man. He was like the king of the warning track fly. I mean, he was. Because he could leave the yard. He had some big homers. But, the thing when Bregman was here, so many times, I remember like whenever he got into the minors, we'd have him on every week. And it's 1-1 on Jones. And he was hitting home runs, Bregman was, early in his minor league career. I said, what's different? He said, at LSU, they wanted me to hit the ball on the ground and on a line. I mean, I think Bregman hit 18 career homers at LSU.
That sounds correct.
He never had a double-digit homer season. And he said the difference is when he got into pro ball, beautiful off-speed pitch, 1-2 on Jones.
Oh.
Am I ahead of you?
No.
What?
Just out the hand, it looked like it was hanging, and then it just friggin' front doored him. It was a good pitch.
Really good pitch. But anyway, when Bregman got into pro ball, he said, they told me they wanted him elevating the baseball. They wanted him hitting homers. So he did. That's one correction I'd like to see Milo make. So, all right, 2-2 to Jones. Tommy White at first, 1 out. We'll watch Jones, and then we'll grab a quick break here. Hopefully the Tigers can break through and get across. 2-0 Carolina here, bottom of the first. If you missed it, Sam Dutton started 3 consecutive singles. They lifted him for Coleman, who walked in a run, then got a ground ball double play, which scored a run, and that would hit him.
Got him, yeah.
Did.
Oh,
all right. Yep.
Okay.
Hit him on the forearm. So,
dude, this crew, they're slow out there, man.
So a single by Tommy White, a strikeout by Stephen Milam, and then a hit by pitch there by Bear Jones. All right, let's knock out a break. Let's see if playoff Pearson can come through. Yeah, got him on the hand. See if playoff Pearson can come through for LSU here with 2 on and 1 out. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, complete employer solutions, Glow Resources and glowresources.com. If you are a business owner and you are stuck in the hiring rat race, you need Glow Resources. Over the course of a year, Glow Resources interviews tens of thousands of prospective candidates. 50 interviews a day, some 15,000 interviews over the course of a year. So they've gotten really good at knowing what questions to ask to make sure the candidate that they're looking to place in your job meets the qualifications, not only the physical qualifications, the necessary skill qualifications, that they may not have life events coming up or things that you could be prepared for, like do you have the birth of a child coming that would force you to miss work? It's those things why Glow Resources has a 93% retention rate. GLO. glowresources.com. Again, online at glowresources.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
All right, Tigers finished in the first, but they do scratch across a run after a White singled and Jones was hit by a pitch, a wild pitch, sent him to second and third, and an RBI ground out by Josh Pearson got White home, but Jones stranded at third when Braswell popped out to center. So 2-1, Carolina leading. LSU gets one back there. Again, the bases loaded walk hurts you. The big question now is, do they go to Nate Ackenhausen or do they stick with Javen Coleman? So if you weren't here at the start of the game, Sam Dutton started. He allowed 3 consecutive singles, was lifted for Javen Coleman, who walked in a run on 4 pitches. I think they were actively trying to get Nate Ackenhausen into the game. Jay Johnson went for a mound visit. Ackenhausen wasn't ready yet, and Coleman got a ground ball, double play, and a flyout, and got out of the inning, allowing the 2 runs. So both of the runs charged to Dutton in a tough situation for Coleman to come into, but the bases loaded walk is just unforgivable on 4 pitches that weren't close. But the Tigers offense got one back in the bottom of the first, so it's 2-1 Carolina as they'll start the second inning. And look, I think we all expected when you get to this point in a weekend, there's going to be a lot of offense. Like you've got depleted pitching staffs. And the other thing, too, I need to check. I'll pull up the live stats on it. But DeCaro, the starter there for Carolina, went nearly 30 pitches in that half inning. So when he was pitching to Pearson, I noted he was at 22.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pulling it up right now to see the live stats to see where he is. But let's see, DeCaro, 27 pitches. So Jason DeCaro, who threw 65 on Friday, 27 pitches there in the first inning. So, look, we went through who Carolina's got available. And the one that you need to be maybe most mindful of is Matty Mateus, who is their best reliever. He hasn't started a game, but he's done 51 innings on the season. He's their best reliever. His long outing of the year is 4 innings pitched. He threw 38 against Long Island on Friday, but did not pitch Saturday, Sunday. So that's a guy that, if there is an arm in that bullpen that you think could give them length, that would be the one today that they could lean on to get them deeper into the game. So it is Coleman. They'll stick with him. First pitch, fly ball to the right side. Stay in.
I think if they would have tied the game, you would have seen Ack.
Why?
Just the whole. I don't think they were going to bring him. I say that because I don't think they'd bring him in down right now. I think it would have to be tied or the lead.
See, I think that's situationally. I would agree with you in the regular season because you're not going to burn a good arm if you're down. Not now. I mean, this is your season. Like, it was the same thing with Herring against Wofford.
Right.
I mean, you were down 5-0, or I guess they weren't down 5-0 yet. What was it when they brought him? Was it 2?
It was 2-0. It was
when they brought in Herring. So, like, I mean, I think that goes out the window. I mean, you got to hold. And look at Coleman gets a strikeout.
High heat there, man.
95.
Yeah. There you go.
I didn't know Coleman had 95 in him.
Yeah.
So Coleman gets a strikeout there to start the second, and maybe he'll settle in a little bit. Now that pitch was at the eyes, but 95, I guess, neck high looked pretty good. where were they in the order? Who was that? Was that Stevenson? So this is
no.
That was Gallagher.
Yes, because here's Madera, and then Wilkinson should be next. Oh, okay. This is the kid who's super fast. He laid down that bunt the other night.
He's the one that bunted against Holman. So Madera's the one that bunted against Holman for a single, and then Wilkerson is the one who lined one at Jones that went off his glove. So, interesting though, he's bunt toward third base when you have a left-handed pitcher who's going to fall that way anyway. But
come on, Coleman. Gosh.
All right, 2-0. We were so hopeful after the strikeout.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of what I mean. I don't know. I would have gone to Nate Ackenhausen, but they're thin. They're trying to extend. They're trying to steal outs.
I mean, if you're trying to steal outs, then you would have stuck with Dutton more than just the plan of giving him 3 hitters, which was the plan all along, right? He was going to pitch to the first 3 hitters. I mean, I don't know what the plan is now at this point with Coleman, and he's not close. That's a 4-pitch walk. That was not close. So
but I think if you weren't trying to steal outs, you would have gone Ackenhausen first out of the bullpen and not Javen Coleman.
He's got a reason for why he went. And
well,
look,
he's got
Helmers up. He's got a reason for why he went to Coleman. And I'm going to be interested to hear what it was. And maybe it was just the spot in the lineup where they were, because it's why when he went to Coleman, he got Ackenhausen up. So he wanted lefties in at that point in the lineup.
Yeah.
So my guess is Jay's looking at the splits in that lineup and said, we need a lefty in right now. But Helmers is up. Maybe they're about to turn the lineup over to get back to righties to face Honeycutt and Harbor.
Man.
And Coleman hits him. So strikeout, walk, hit by pitch. You got to come get him. Like you cannot, because now you turn the lineup over. You walk the 8-hole, you hit the 9-hole, and now you got Honeycutt coming up with 2 on against a lefty who can't find the zone.
Yeah, but
this reeks of Major League when Ricky Vaughn walked the bases loaded and finally just grooved one to oh man,
Parkman or no, not Major League. That's Major League 2. Major League is Haywood.
My brain went dark there.
They haven't released you yet, Taylor.
They're coming to get him. So all right, so it'll be Helmers now to face. There was no way they were going to let Coleman face Honeycutt. So, but I mentioned, Honeycutt hit the 2 homers off of Luke Coleman, off of a righty on Saturday. So it is Helmers, the righty, to face Honeycutt, and this is a dangerous spot. You got 1 out, you got 2 on for Honeycutt, who really struggled yesterday. But I'll tell you, man, I get looking at splits and looking at a righty, but the thing that really spooks you about Will Helmers is he throws strikes, but he throws strikes over the plate.
Mm-hmm. It's the Dutton thing.
Yes. This screams of, man, you groove him one. This is a spot where you would anticipate they make a pretty substantial move.
And also the thing too, we're talking about them looking at splits,
miss small.
and I get it, but also when you alternate right left like that, it makes situational relief really difficult.
Yes,
it's why you do that, and it seems like there's a lot of situational relief right now, and it hadn't gone well. It's just they need the best outing of Will Helmer's career at the current moment right now. It feels like they're in trouble.
What is the best outing of Will Helmer's career?
Oh Lord. Probably his freshman year.
No, he was a third baseman then.
See, I took the high road. I was going to make a third base joke, and I didn't. You did it. Yeah, that was not the best outing of his career. But
I don't blame him for that.
No, I don't either.
I don't blame him for that at all. Let's see.
Not his fault.
Here you go. Helmer's into the game. This season, Helmers has gone 2 innings 3 times. He went 2 innings against Xavier, 2 innings against North Dakota State, and he went 2 innings against South Carolina in the SEC tournament.
That was good.
Faced 5.
Yeah.
And how did he face? Did he get a double play? How did he go 2 innings if he only faced 5 hitters?
He would have had to have gotten a double play.
Interesting. Okay. So anyway, Helmers has given you 2 innings 3 times this year. That's the longest he's gone. Let me see in his career.
He had some starts as a freshman in the midweek that were pretty good. But it's a midweek game.
Well, we know those don't matter.
No, I mean, I kind of put it on a tee. It's,
So here you go. His career high 5 innings against UNO back in 2021, and he pitched 5 against Southern back in 2021. So those are the midweek outings that you're talking about. So pitching a midweek game 3 years ago against UNO and Southern, dramatically different than facing a guy that's going to be a top 10 pick in the draft with 2 on in an elimination game of a regional. But a nice little pitch there for Helmers at 92, pumps a strike. So what?
Double play here would just be so clean, man.
Get you right out of the inning.
Yeah.
And LSU's at double play depth. Milam is playing behind second base, which I don't like at all.
Now, that's a dandy. All right, Will Helmers.
93. Right down the chute.
I'll never understand shifting when you need a double play, but that's just me.
Let me fix it for you, Muse. I'll never understand shifting.
Okay. Yeah, especially in the college game, but I mean, these guys can't consistently throw the ball where you need. Ring him up, Blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Will Helmers.
Will Helmers with a 3-pitch strikeout of Vance Honeycutt, who didn't even take the bat off his shoulder. All right, Will Helmers. Look at that action.
The arm side
Did
run,
you
baby.
It? Oh, my God.
What are you mad about, Honeycutt?
I think he was just stunned that Will Helmers brought that thing back about 6 inches off the plate. That was beautiful.
That was fantastic.
That looked like a big league pitch.
Cue the Will Helmers should have started takes.
Okay. Hey, Rock Reynolds. Man.
Hey, brother.
Some dudes who just live to play for LSU and wear the purple and gold are going to go battle. Dirtbags. As it were, the bulldog on the mound.
Yeah.
Every cliche you want.
Field rat.
Let's see if we can get it. All right, so 2 outs, 2 on.
Good stop.
2-0.
Good stop.
All right. This is Casey Cook batting second. LSU down 2-1 to Carolina. Top 2. Helmers on the mound. This is already the 3rd LSU pitcher of the day. Dutton, Coleman, now Helmers. All right, that's outside. It's 3-0. Well, you got a base to give, but you got you got Parks Harbor on deck. So I don't know, man. Faced Honeycutt from the right side looked pretty well.
That's true.
Cook's here from the left side, and he's missing everything out. He's missing everything away here, which is interesting, though. I guess you just not go. Yeah. That's all right. It's a 4-pitch walk for Helmers. I wonder if he was just staying away from. Clearly, he was staying away from Cook because everything to Honeycutt was away, but it was to the left side of the plate in the left-handed batter's box. That was everything to the right side. So, if you play a draw, Muse, you got to start it out and bring it back. That's what
you're doing. Yeah.
All right. Got a visit here from Nate. Yes.
Oh, that's some good hair.
All right. We're going to knock out our final break of the show. We do have Otter Locks when we come back. We're brought to you by Evamore. Drink Evamore, y'all. Evamore.com. EVAMOR. Evamore.com. Ackenhausen is getting loose now for LSU. So you're running out of arms. You're running out of arms at this point. Eventually somebody's just going to have to go. You're not even through 2 innings, and you're about to bring on your 4th pitcher of the game. A healthier option for your family, healthier option for your children. One of the things that we've instituted in our family that we've done is we buy the 4-pack of 64-ounce bottles, and that's what I put in the Keurig. That's what when I'm having a meal, I drink. That's what if you need water. This is natural artesian water. It's Evamore. You get it at great local retailers, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. And, of course, you can order online at Evamore.com or at great local retailers. Natural artesian water and a Louisiana product. Drink Evamore. Okay, Helmer stays in there after the visit from Yeski. Bases are loaded. 2 outs. Carolina leading 2-1, and it is Parks Harbor, the former Georgia Bulldog, at the plate. We'll knock out a break. Come back. See how this AB goes. We'll have Otter Locks with Jimmy next. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Segan Air Airline, LA-16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Matter of fact, today, honest to goodness true story, my buddy Rooney Email from Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. He had a bottle of whiskey for me that I'm going to bust open on Nightcap after LSU wins this game today. Knock on Formica. And he said, hey, look, I'm going to be in town. I'm going to Clegg's. Need to pick up some flowers and come meet you at the station. So he did earlier today. I'm telling you, man, you need flowers, you go to Clegg's. They got the full greenhouses. They're the absolute best. So they're local as well. Been around for 60 years. They're partnered with True Value Hardware Stores. So get on by. Hey, look, if you need everything from like floodlights and duct tape and nails and screws and things like that, you can find it. And if you need gardening tools like rakes and hoes and shovels and the hats that you wear, the sombrero style hats, the gardening hats, I guess is what they're called. They got that as well. Like, they got everything. Buy local, shop local, Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
Otter, how are you?
Good, Matt. How about you?
Doing good, man. Keeping an eye on this game. 2-1. Carolina leading LSU. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Travinsky up. So, hoping for the best here, man. Would love to be playing some baseball at the box next weekend.
Yeah, huge out LSU. I mean, that was close to a grand slam. So, yeah. You know, I thought it was going and left the bat. But, yeah, LSU get a nice line right now, almost plus $2. It's been dog day today. We hit with Evansville in Florida early, and that's our pick tonight. And we're going with UConn.
Okay.
Plus a big price. Yeah.
All right,
So
UConn is at plus 190.
Yep.
All right.
And then we
UConn.
got here's the beauty about the mobile betting now. You get in game. If you miss the start, you can still get action.
Yeah.
We got a 3-team money line parlay. Philly, Toronto, Colorado. Pays about $4.75 right now at DraftKings.
All right. Are those in games? Oh, the Phillies are in game. Okay.
Phillies, no score, South 2. Toronto is just not started yet. Colorado later.
And
tie game.
And
That's wrong.
You must be ahead of us. Sit in Colorado. Who homers?
Jake Brown.
All right, let's go, Jake Brown! We just saw Travinski strike out. So.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't left the Queen. We did the show here. I'm just, EJ's in the Virgin Islands playing around.
How about we just saw it. How about the freshman, man? Freaking phenomenal. All right, that'll be Jake Brown.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, dogs, man. The dogs are really live today. So we'll see.
All right, we got a tie ball game after Jake Brown goes yard. All right, so UConn plus 190. And then in the MLB, a money line parlay with Philly, Toronto, and Colorado. I just got it coming back at plus 454.
There you go. Okay.
All right. Anything else, Otter?
That's it,
All
man.
right, man.
That's it.
Well,
Dozy plays tomorrow.
Out at Doze. Y'all go get you a steak, maybe an old-fashioned for lunch. Hang out with the Otter and Hanny. All right, Otter. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man. We appreciate it.
Good luck.
All right, man. Be well. All right, so Jake Brown homers. We are brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. And dozens of great LSU and former LSU and professional athletes have trusted Dr. Blake Williamson. As a matter of fact, when you go into the office on Bluebonnet, you'll see they have this giant wall. It's like a mural. So I guess it would be a mural. Is a mural painted, or can a mural be pictures? It's a collage of all the different athletes that they've helped over the years over at the Williamson Eye Center, from Warren Morris and Paul Maneri to Devin White and Caleb on Chasson and dozens of others. You could be next. 924-2020. 924-2020, or go to williamsoneye.com. Okay, that's about going to do it for us here. Tie ball game, bottom second, 2 out. Ashton Larson, it looks like he's going to ground out to end the second. Does, so they head to the third. You know what we'll be talking about tomorrow? We'll recap this game, and here's hoping we're talking about a super regional at Alec Box Stadium if LSU can pull this off. So enjoy the night. Muse will be live on Musso at the Box as soon as this game goes final, so catch the Musso at the Box YouTube channel as well if you haven't done so yet. Y'all have an awesome night. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
All right, as we get on down the road, get to remind you about South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned. I want to remind you, 0% APR for 60 months on select models right now. That's 5 years. 0% for 5 years on select models right now. You got to check out the deals at South Point Volkswagen. Now, yes, new Volkswagens, but also certified pre-owned, all makes and models. You go to the website, there's a new and a used vehicle tab at the top. Tap the used vehicle tab, and you'll see the inventory right there, and every vehicle will come up. Not like stock factory photos, but the actual vehicles that are on the lot. You'll see pictures of those vehicles, all different makes and models. So highly recommend you go check it out at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. That's southpointvw.com. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, South Point Volkswagen.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold.